guitar.
Guitar gaming.
So I don't know if this is gonna be that was a separate episode or I'm just splicing this in here, but
We're gonna figure it out. That's solve it in post.
yeah, it's been a day. So literally, we've gone home and went to bed because
Sleepy.
yeah. Also, I got another Red Bull.
Wow, you magically fucking summoned that bitch. Welcome back to another Snoot Game episode of Minagoroshi.
Snoot Game, red pills all.
It's true.
Meep. And that's the end of my story.
Takeichi's like, that's cap.
As I thought, everyone was staring at me with their mouths open in shock. Even Oishi wouldn't believe a story like this. That's only normal. I'm sure I sound like a crazy person.
I like to think that whole monologue is just the guy with the whiteboard at like 1.5 speed.
Sadako, we go to the clinic every week to help with ADA's research, right? We're actually not just helping him. We go there so you can get treatment.
All right, here we go. I remember you told me that Sadako is ill. Me? Oh, as you said, it's not only me, but the whole village that is infected with this disease. Why would I have to take the shot every day and not everyone else? I thought it was a new type of vitamin that the coach is developing. Lying.
At one point, you were a terminal patient, Sadako. That's why you need 2 shots every day to keep your symptoms under control. EDA is very passionate about saving you, but he still can't find a better treatment than that. Don't think he's still not working hard to find a cure, though.
The hard part is gonna be keeping EDA alive in this fucking timeline. Don't you joke around. I thought we were getting financial support by aiding his research. I don't want to get those shots every day for the rest of my life. It's that or die. So, like, pick a struggle, dude.
Sadako looked upset that she had been completely ignorant of all of this. She also didn't want to accept the reality of having to manage her condition.
She just has diabetes, man.
Her fake laughter sadly echoed in everyone's ears. KJ opened his mouth to speak.
So, if she misses a shot, she'll react like she did the other day?
There was a day where she forgot to take her shot. She convinced herself that the principal was her uncle. Her fear escalated, and she thought her uncle came inside the school to take her back home. Once she feels that way, there's no turning back for her. Yes, she will. That's why I tell her to be sure to take her shot every day.
Sadako just got revealed. Congratulations, you're 13. You have a terminal illness. Good luck. We've been lying to you.
We've been holding it back, and you, without you knowing.
I don't believe you. What do you mean? I'm a terminal patient. Why me, exactly? I refuse to believe it. When did I even become so sick?
Sadako's face contorted as tears began to flow from her eyes. I shouldn't have said this. Sadako is starting to remember something she's not supposed to. I'm sorry, Sadako. You don't have to remember. That was just an accident.
Sorry.
That was just an accident. It wasn't your fault.
No, this is a lie. You're just lying to us.
The others probably had no idea what Sadako's talking about.
Sadako killed her aunt?
No.
It'd be funny.
They don't need to know. They don't want to. They don't want to know about it because they're her friends.
Is this like... I can't tell if this is like the Sadako lore about like her being a bitch to her aunt, or if it's the Sadako lore of like she murdered somebody. Yo, Sadako killed Satoshi? It'd be funny.
Yeah? Do you have any idea what it could be referring to? Because I can't imagine that he would just you know, make something up off the spot like a Murasaki district or something.
Is it Harasaka? No. Hirosaka? Yeah, the Hirosaka district. See, neither of us can get it fucking right.
Hirosaka.
No, I'm gonna put my fist down. Satoshi didn't transfer. Sadako killed him. Full stop. That's what it is. That's gonna be my guess.
Rina gently touched Sadako's shoulder. She gently touched mine, too.
Yo, she killed Satoshi with one of her Viet Cong traps.
We believe your story, Rika-chan. Thank you. And you've been carrying such a heavy burden for a long time. I'm proud of you. You've been struggling all alone to this day.
It's been a really long time.
I never thought Rina would say something like that to me. My eyes were filling up with tears.
It's difficult to have a secret that you can't tell people. Mine was hardly a big deal compared to yours, but I can still sympathize with you.
Thanks, Mion. Ryukishi was like, in this scene, Mion and Shion will only speak back to back. They cannot speak separately.
I agree. You've done your best too, sis. I often shift the blame onto you to relieve myself, so I can tell.
You're all going to believe my story?
Of course. We said we'd believe you. It's a bit of a relief since a lot of my questions about this village are answered now.
So,
Thank you, reader. that's so great. I'm glad Keiichi is everyone's self-insert right here.
So, is everyone in this village infected by the disease? That Hinamizawa syndrome? Yes, everyone is infected. But unlike hundreds of years ago, this disease is much weaker now. That's why people can survive even if they move far away or go somewhere far for a trip.
But some people still get sick, right? I'll never leave this village again.
Thanks, Keiichi.
Even if you do get sick, you can still control the illness yourself. It's very simple, yet very difficult. If you think you might be suspicious of someone, don't be. Continue to trust in them.
Thanks, Rika.
When you become too suspicious of someone, that suspicion will degenerate into a persecution complex, and it'll be too late. As long as everyone stays friendly and united, we will never have to worry about this disease. This disease starts with anxiety. Modern people don't believe in curses the way people long ago did. That might be why we're more tolerant to the disease.
Rika literally said, fucking don't be anxious, asshole.
I see. Then we should be fine.
Yep. We're friends, and we're family. We would never suspect each other. I'm going to believe everything that you said today. You couldn't talk because you were afraid that the mountain dogs would hurt us, right?
I nodded quietly. I don't want to think that the mountain dogs have bugged this room, but if Okanoki overhears this conversation, they will definitely kill not only me, but all of my friends tonight. That's true no matter who my enemy is.
Well, it sounds as if we should all get ready for a battle.
Thanks, Mion.
Let's sum up the story. Someone might come and kill you, knowing that your death will cause chaos and destruction in the village. Is that correct?
They'll definitely come for me. Are you sure? Will they get rid of their trump card that easily?
She's quite right. A trump card is like a pile of gold. Isn't it better to keep your hands on it?
Sorry. Sadako's eyes were still swollen, but she had stopped crying.
But think about it, Sadako. If you have more than one trump card, you'd want to play one of them right away.
That's true. It's more effective to have more than one hostage. One hostage is not as valuable as many of them. Payday 3.
Yeah, I was, flash forward Payday, or fucking Rena with the Payday mask on, holding the goddamn, school hostage with the bomb and everything. She would definitely be Wolf. 100%.
He's the demolitions expert, isn't he?
He's also the fucking crazy guy, man.
Anyway, we don't know anything for sure, and that means we can't be too optimistic.
I'm crying because I probably won't be able to play Jacket in Payday 3. I have to go back.
Fucking Joy is already in the game.
Man, fuck Starbreeze.
There's no way they don't listen. If they don't re-add Jacket, that'd be crazy.
I have to become a Dallas main again, man.
Everyone nodded in unison. They all wanted Jacket to be in the game. What do you think about the Mountain Dogs? Do you think they're our enemies?
This is a very Payday coded episode.
That's not even a question. They're like wolves trying to watch after the sheep.
Yeah, just think of all the suspicious people as bad guys. We need to seek help from someone who has nothing to do with Tokyo.
Oishi! I agree. I think you made a good choice by seeking help from the police. Oishi-san is on our side, right?
Yes. Oishi doesn't know everything yet, so he thinks the culprit behind the curse of Oyashio-sama is targeting me. I think you should talk to Oishi-san too. We need help from some adults.
Yeah, no shit. You guys are going to get shot. But that's pretty risky. Yeah, what if they don't believe her and step away from the investigation?
We should still talk to him. He said that he's going to retire this year and that it's his last chance to avenge his old friend. I'm sure he will believe any story, no matter how wild.
Rena.
Yeah, he helped us when we were trying to save Sadako-chan too. I think he'll remain on our side.
I think they're cooking with this, yeah.
Okay, let's talk to Oishi. Where is he now?
He's out in Gifu Prefecture. He went to check on Takano's body.
Oh, she was found in Gifu, right? Burned to death inside of an oil drum. Why does he have to go there directly to check on her?
There's a possibility that it might not be Takano's body, but the Gifu Police Department isn't being very cooperative.
You said that the Mountain Dogs specialize in preserving secrets and manipulating information, right? That corpse is pretty suspicious. I don't think she's the kind of person who would just die from getting burnt a little.
It's still possible that EDA is the bad guy and that he killed Takano. That's what Okanoki tried to make me believe.
I kinda doubt that Coach is the mastermind. He's just not that kind of person.
I do agree. He's very nice as long as you don't let him talk about maids. As the manager of the Hinamizawa Fighters, I also think Coach is innocent. He's more like someone who could be easily used. Maybe he's too good of a guy. They gotta call Coach, bro.
How? Seems like everyone suspects Takano-san.
Thanks, Rona.
Well, we're just saying, if we compare the Coach and Takano-san, you know.
I love Keiichi, dude. Takano-san would be pretty upset to hear that. Yeah, I fucking love Keiichi.
Everyone laughed as though we were in the middle of a club activity. If they're after my life, they'll kill everyone here. It's very possible that they'll all get involved in this mess, and they know that. That they could still laugh is really significant, I think. I started laughing along too.
Yeah, because them laughing is a sign of confidence. Like, not a single person in this room doubts their ability to, like, not live through this.
It's odd that Takano-san's body was found in Gifu. If someone wanted to make it look like she killed Tomitake Flash, they would hide her body somewhere nobody would ever find. Burning her body in the middle of the woods is like begging people to come across it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like they're trying to force an unidentified body to be Takano-san just because it was found outside the prefecture and the police here can't investigate further. That's the specialty of the Mountain Dogs, right?
I think it's pretty obvious at this point. The Mountain Dogs are working for Takano-san, right? And the leader of the dogs is saying that the manager is pulling the strings. I bet Takano-san and them are working together.
Tomatake Flash died the way he did so that Coach would be suspected. But Tokyo was the only organization who would suspect the Coach. They also found the body of the true mastermind, Takano-san. Tokyo will suspect that the manager killed both of them. I see. This is a well-planned setup, though it's not perfect.
All of these people would be terrifying as adults. You age everyone in this group up by 10 years. You have 4 steps above the mountain dogs. You put 10 years of experience under every single person here's belt. This is a unfindable killing machine.
It sounds like the mountain dogs are setting the coach up. Well, I think we should talk to Coach directly. That's the best way to go about it.
That's a good idea, manga gamer. That's a good idea. I can tell if he's telling the truth or not just by looking into his eyes.
Thanks, Rena. Yeah, you're good at that, Rena-san.
The mountain dogs are also running security on EDA right now. He might not be able to get on the phone.
What? That sounds even more suspicious. I hope the coach isn't in danger right now.
Whoa, fuck.
You had it right the first time.
Me too. If I was a member of the Mountain Dogs and I was gonna set him up, I'd kill him before he said something I didn't want him to say.
A dead person can't say anything, huh? Oishi will return as soon as he takes care of the business in Gifu. I don't know what time that will be, but he'll be here for sure.
See, this is where we get Akasaka involved, who like works for the Tokyo prefecture, and be like, my brother in Christ.
As one, everyone glanced at the clock. It was already past 6:30 p.m. and starting to get dark.
No wonder I'm so hungry. Thanks, Keiichi.
We usually call it here if it was a normal day, but everyone decided to stay until Oishi came back and discuss what to do. Can I use your phone, Rika-chan? I need to call my dad and let him know I'm going to be late tonight.
I need to call my mom, too.
I have to call Granny and tell her to order something for dinner tonight. You'll be in big trouble later. We have to get something to eat for those officers, too. We can order some sushi.
Everyone had a sensitive reaction to the word sushi. Their stomachs were empty after all. The same should be true of those officers, too.
Yeah, are we gonna order something too, Rika? I don't feel we have that kind of money.
Sadako, why don't you cook a stir fry for everyone?
What? I kid. I've never cooked for this many people.
Sadako's stir fry? I'd love to try it, as long as there's no fingers inside.
What are you saying, Keiichi?
Thanks, Keiichi.
Sadako-chan, I want to eat your food too. I want to.
That's a real,
Fingers and all.
it's a real Haraka district. Hirosaka district. God damn it. Oh, fuck.
Just then, the phone rang? At that point, the phone rang.
Close enough.
Hello, this is Furude speaking.
Oishi.
Oh, glad to hear you're still alive. It's Oishi. I finished up everything in Gifu and I'm heading toward Okinomiya right now. I'm calling from the gas station. What about Takano's body? No, we did it! We were right! Gifu made one incredible, easy mistake in the paperwork. What a stubborn bunch. I really had to let them have it. Let me tell you, Takano and her vehicle are still missing. She may have some information regarding the Hamatake's murder, so I've just issued a search warrant for her. I'm getting close to revealing the secret of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I'm going to solve this case.
Holy shit, Oishi actually did it. I thought they were gonna like gaslight him and tell him that it is Takano's body. He actually figured out it isn't. Wait, they have like a real chance here.
Yeah, they do. Oishi sounded so motivated. He'd finally found the hint he'd so desperately wanted. Could he actually solve the case, though? I'm looking forward to hearing your story. I'm heading to your house with Kuma-chan, so please tell us whatever you know. You can talk to me about anything you can think of. Yes, I'm ready to tell you about everything. Oh my! I look forward to hearing it, Mofo. I should be there in about an hour. It sounds crowded over there. Are your friends there with you? Yep, everyone came here to offer their help. I see. You got some wonderful friends. It's probably better for you to stay with them. Good way to keep the criminals at bay. Right, we're heading out. I'll see you soon.
Dude, shit's actually happening.
Was that Oishi-san?
Yes, he's heading this way with that other detective.
Kuma-chan.
How? It's the first time this room will have so many people inside it. How many people will it be?
There's 6 of us here, so 8 people? I do hope our floor won't break.
Yeah, Oishi counts for like 8.5. She's back! Man, get the fuck out of here, Hanyu! I don't want you in this game.
Oh. I'm the 9th person.
Hanyu, were you listening to us? This is turning out to be very interesting.
Do you think it'll be different this time?
Yes, I'm sure. This time will be different.
Don't say that you're sure. It would devastate you if nothing ends up changing.
So, Hanyu, you still think I'm dying today?
I don't want you to die.
I know what you're thinking. You don't want to believe because you don't want to be hurt. That way, you'll never be let down. I'm not going to listen to your opinions anymore. You just stay there and watch like the bystander you are.
Dude, Rika's so based!
Yes, I'm just a bystander, but I'm still rooting for you.
Rooting for me? Thanks. Are you sure you want to root for me? Are you sure you won't be hurt if I lose?
Dude, Rika's just twisting the fucking knife in, man.
Ow, ow, ow! Don't be mean, Rika.
We had a rather harmonious mood going. However, the feeling of unease was beginning to settle over us.
So all that needs to happen is Oishi has to not get assassinated on the way back.
True.
And they have her phone tapped, don't they?
Yeah.
Oishi's getting assassinated on the way back.
Look where we are.
This is... yeah, they're in the car on the way back. Is this Oishi?
Do you think this is Oishi or Kuma?
Kuma?
Might be Kuma. Yes, Kuma
Yeah,
and Oishi.
Kuma's top text.
I'm getting hungry. Want to grab something on the way?
Oh, that's right. It's almost 8 p.m. We had a late lunch today, so I didn't realize. We can go get something after we finish hearing her story.
You sent 4 officers there. They're probably pretty worn out by now.
Hopefully, Furude-san ordered them something to eat. Oishi and Kumagai had passed through Okinomiya and were getting closer and closer to Hinamizawa. They hurried on their way, driving through the dark streets.
I wonder what Rika Furude wants to talk to you about.
Probably something outrageous. That village, used to be called Onigafuchi Village.
Thank you, Ryukishi.
They took the name Onigafuchi, the demon's abyss, from the local swamp.
And like an abyss, it's hard to know its depths, huh? And what do you plan to do about her protection?
Depending on what she tells us, we might have to move her to a safer location. The whole of Hinamizawa is like a lion's den. You never know what can happen in that village. For now, we just need to hear what she has to say.
The head of the Furude family is in danger, and the successor of the Shonozaki family is trying to protect her. Who would even be capable of killing Rika Furude under those circumstances? The only people I can take over the Kimiyoshi family.
Oishi has my opinions, man.
I've never heard of them getting up to do anything fishy. And I guess there must be a fanatical religious sect lurking in the village. I wonder what secret lies at the bottom of that swamp. The road they were on was cutting through the rice fields, leading them to pass by the scene of Jiro Tamatake's
Flash.
murder. Takano left Tomatake
Flash.
there, I'm sure of that. But I wonder what he actually died of. Forensics didn't find any drugs in his system, did they?
Yeah, they didn't find anything, but that doesn't prove it either way. There are hundreds of strange chemicals in this world. There's no proof that a drug wasn't used. It must just be one that we're not aware of. I'm sure of that. There must be some kind of drug out there that can make some...
It must have been the opposite.
Oishi, yeah. You want to take over? You want me to just finish this, Kuma?
I'll take over.
Okay.
There must be some kind of drug out there that can make someone claw out their throat and die. I'm going to grill the culprit about it once I make the arrest. Of course, it would be easier if that's what Rika Furude is going to tell me. Kuma-chan, you must have learned exactly how false charges are made. Seeing what happened in Gifu today.
That was horrible. If that guy was at our station, I'd never forgive him.
You flat out refused to admit he made a mistake. The Gifu Police Department as a whole is still convinced that the body belonged to Neo Takano. But we'll operate under the assumption that she lives. The top of the department will make the final decision. It's obvious that they made a simple mistake. They're just desperately covering it up because they'll be in trouble if they admit it. They really need to rethink their attitude. The car suddenly shook. The concrete road had ended, leaving only gravel. At the point where the gravel road begins, you're officially in Hinamizawa. They continued to drive through the woods for a while. Uma-chan, stop the car!
What?
Oishi had told him to stop immediately. Kumagai quickly slammed on the brakes. Their seatbelts tightened up, keeping them in their seats.
Now, what's wrong?
There's a car over there. I wonder what it's doing. Oishi tapped on the rearview mirror. There was a van parked just off the road. Rather beat up, it looked like it was used for a private company. There was no reason for someone to park their car here, especially at this time of night. Kumagai also thought it looked suspicious. The car seemed empty, but there was a light flashing in the woods nearby. Probably a flashlight. Strange that the van is out here at this hour.
I'm surprised you even saw it.
Yeah. It's like I keep telling you. A detective always has to pay attention to his surroundings. I wonder what he's doing there. Is he dumping something illegally? Is he dumping someone's body? Maybe it's a pair of lovebirds on a secret date. Well, that can't be it, judging by the van. Hello? Okinomi Security, do you read me? No? Good evening and good night.
This is Okinomiya Security reading you loud and clear.
I need a license number scanned.
That blank? It might take a while.
We'll wait.
Is this the guy still?
Oishi-san, according to this... No, this is Kuma.
Yeah.
Oishi-san, according to this map, there's a facility of the Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation here.
What in the world is a facility of the NTT? It was listed as a facility, but it wasn't staffed. It was just a place where machines were installed. Kumagai wasn't sure how telephone lines actually work, but either way, it seemed like there was some kind of connecting device that was located here.
Oishi.
But that's just an ordinary van. It doesn't look like it belongs to the NTT.
If it is them, shouldn't their names... if it is them, shouldn't their name
Shouldn't their name should be on the van?
Oh my god, manga gamer.
Shouldn't their name be on the van?
Maybe some other company is contracted to do it. Anyway, we should just go and ask.
What a grief! Don't get out of the car!
That was, the voices were...
It's
Reverse.
fine. It's over, man.
Oishi wasn't sure if that was the case. After all, why would any phone company go and do maintenance so late at night? Let's go and check what's going on. Ode-san is waiting for us, so we need to be fast.
Yeah, sure.
His well-honed detective instinct was trying to tell him something. That feeling wasn't one that Oishi could easily explain. He has a strong sense that something was suspicious, without any real reason behind it. Does this remind you of anything? It's a little...
Himatsubushi?
Why Himatsubushi?
It's just the Detective Oishi chapter. That's what I was thinking about.
No, like specifically, what he's doing right now, what they're doing. Anything about this scenario so far ring a bell?
Getting out the van, or getting out the car to go investigate the van.
Anything they've done so far?
Oh shit.
Think of credits. Or...
Oh, are you
Just
talking about
credits.
in Tatari Goroshi when they can't find Oishi's car?
Remember after
In-
when Keiichi goes and sneaks up to the... Are you up to that point when you're watching it?
Oh, when he sneaks up to the clinic,
And
yeah.
he's...
Yeah, and they talk about Oishi's
Iri-
car is missing after Irie's committed suicide.
mhm.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is where his car goes missing and everything.
Do you
like
remember
that
another
happened.
part of that when they were like, "Oh, she's missing"? He blah blah blah. blah, blah.
No, I don't. I just finished watching that, but I don't remember the specific.
He
Oishi's
asked for
car is
somebody's
missing?
license plate number.
Oh, okay.
Did he
Oh,
have a grudge
boy.
against that guy? Did he like cut him off? Is that why he was asking? Do you want-
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, jeez.
Oh, she trusts that
Oh, I
he could
thought you
judge
read
others' characters with that sense. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Nightingale 2 to Nightingale 1. Vehicle stopped nearby. 2 people got out. They are probably police officers. They're approaching and will make contact in less than a minute. It was pitch black, yet they could see the 2 newcomers clearly. They were probably using a night vision scope.
Roger. Attention all units. Nightingale 2 through Nightingale 5, wait for the green light. Nightingale 7 and 8, make sure surroundings 100 meters are clear.
Roger. Nightingale 4 and 5, do you copy?
Nightingale 4, Roger.
Nightingale 5, Roger.
Nightingale 7, Roger.
He's a little boy. He's new. Leave him alone. He's new.
Nightingale 8, Roger. Got a old man.
Takano?
This is Nightingale from HQ. Nightingale from HQ. There's been some trouble during the modification of the phone facility. There's 2 police detectives. We request clearance to open fire.
Roger, wait for the order.
By the time Oishi and Kumagai reached the phone facility, they were being watched from all directions. There were 2 pairs of binoculars and 2 sniper rifles pointing at them. The Mountain Dog operatives worked in two-man units, a sniper and a spotter, to secure the means of retreat. They had all taken different positions so that they could shoot Oishi no matter where he tried to run. They were all in camouflage suits, hiding deep in the woods. Oishi, of course, had no chance of spotting them. The snipers had their rifles trained on the detectives' heads. Oishi and Kumagai had no idea that they were on the verge of losing their very lives. The sniper rifles had their safeties on, but a flick of their thumbs would release them. In other words, they were ready to shoot if given the order. The detectives found the fenced-in machinery right behind the parked van. There's a sign there saying that it was the property of the Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation, and another sign warning people to keep away. Hello, good evening.
Sorry, but could you step back? We're in the middle of a maintenance operation.
There were 4 men working there, wearing blue overalls. They had a toolbox open and were working on some wires. Sorry to interrupt. We're from the police. We were wondering what you guys were doing since it's pretty strange to see a pan parked out here.
Good evening, officers. We're almost finished here.
Who are you guys? You're not from the NTT, are you?
Oh, we're not, no. We're from Okinogi Electrics.
I like how every fucking company is just Okinogi's name followed by whatever the fuck they're involved in.
Huh? Oh, sorry, I'm out of business cards.
Okanogi Electrics. Where is your office located?
Well, it's in Okinomiya.
Could you give me the phone number and address of your office?
Why do you want to know?
You forgot. The telephone number? Hoishi looked at him with a piercing glare. Their response was very suspicious.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, Oishi and Kumagai just need to start blasting. Like, just find cover and start blasting, man.
Usually, the vehicle of an electric company is full of various types of electrical equipment and repair tools. However, the van parked there had nothing inside, and it looked just like an ordinary car. Also, a company vehicle usually has the name of the company printed on it, but this one was just a plain van with no markings on it. None of that was the reason Oishi found them suspicious, though. It was their attitude that bothered him. They didn't sound nor look like typical contractors. They were obviously not electricians. It was far too late in the day, and there were far too many of them. They were also clearly suspicious of Oishi. However, that was all he could tell just by looking around. He found them suspicious, but had no idea what they were up to. One of the men told Oishi their phone number. Kumagai wrote down the number so he could ask the station to call and confirm that it was real.
That's always how to clear yourself.
We're not doing anything suspicious.
No, you guys are very suspicious. Who are you? If you're really a contractor, you should have proof of it. But you don't have any. Besides, everything about you seems off.
Officer, please don't cause us any trouble. Just leave us alone. We need to finish our job here.
Judging from their progress, it didn't look like they'd be cleaning up anytime soon. In fact, it almost seemed like they were just getting started. It's pretty obvious that you're lying, son. You should have studied the role a little better if you wanted to pretend to be an electrician. Oishi raised his voice threateningly. The members of the Mountain Dogs gradually started to look more and more annoyed. Oishi looked over their expressions and gave them a big wide grin. However, Oishi had no idea. He thought he could handle these suspicious people with no issues. Of course, in reality, they were horrific demons that he had no chance against. Meanwhile, Kumagai was heading back to the car. He was intending to contact the police department. He was going to call the station using the radio. Then, in turn, the police department would contact the NTT. That way, it would become clear who they were really dealing with. HQ to Nightingale 1. You have permission to fire.
Nightingale 7, clear!
Nightingale 8, clear. The sniper was still aiming at Kumagai's head as he headed back toward their car. The safety, that last line protecting Kumagai's life, was disengaged. The sniper put his finger on the trigger. He was wearing a glove with the fingertips cut out. The finger poking through the hole was very rough and merciless. As soon as he slightly moved that finger, he would take someone's life. Nightingale 1 sniper team, all green. Kumagai heard a quiet noise. It was similar to the sound of the jump rope that he used to use as a whip when he was little. And that was the last thought Kumagai had in this world. Kumagai collapsed into the gravel. That was it. He didn't even twitch. Oishi was laying on his back on the concrete after getting shot in the chest. His lungs were filling with blood, which began to pour out of his mouth. Oishi only realized that he'd been shot when the world began to blur before his eyes. As his world keeled over, he saw a man in a work uniform leveling a gun at him, but it didn't matter. But it didn't matter anymore, as he started drowning in his own blood.
This is Okinomiya Security. We've scanned the license plate number. Detective Oishi? Detective Oishi, please come in. Huh? Did we lose the signal or something? Detective Oishi, come in. Jobber?
Yeah, listen.
Oh. He's not answering.
Oishi-san wanted a plate number scanned. Whose car was it?
It's just a village car. No one special.
Who is it? It must be someone suspicious if Oishi-san is asking about them.
It really seemed like nobody out of the ordinary. No accidents, no tickets.
He probably got pissed off after that car passed him or something. He can be a pretty stubborn guy sometimes. This is Nightingale. Both targets eliminated. Resuming the mission.
Roger. Be sure to dispose of their vehicle. Major, Nightingale just terminated 2 officers. They're resuming their mission.
What the fuck is this outfit, man? What is this?
Finally here.
What the fuck is this outfit, man? What?
Why did they give Takano, like, the stereotypically evil fucking, like, Street Fighter officer outfit? It's drip!
She's in her uniform. She's in her fucking... It's fucking happening.
Much like with Tomatake, I think the new sprite looks better.
At least the
with
clothing,
like, yeah, the
but-
clothing. Not the person, but the clothing. Yeah, new sprite is definitely better. Oh shit. What the fuck?
Sweet dreams, Oishi-san. Too bad. He was getting so close to catching me. Can I get a cup of coffee?
Thanks, Takano.
Absolutely. This is getting complicated. There are still several officers at R's house, and her friends are there as well. R must know that she's getting murdered tonight. Someone is leaking information. I think we should postpone the plan.
We have to have her corpse by tomorrow. That's what's most convenient for the people in charge. We have to execute this mission tonight. The crucial part of this final mission was the death of Rika and what came after that. They couldn't just kill her whenever they wanted. Doing it at the right time was vital.
Maybe she's panicking at the dog's excessive security?
No, it's not that the information is being leaked. She's predicting it. She knew that
Flush.
Tomatake was going to die, and she even knew how my body was going to be found. She's the queen. She's the genuine heir of the. She's the genuine heir of the blood of Oh my god, I can't read. She's the genuine heir of the blood of Oyashiro-sama, her priestess, and the queen positioned at the top of Hinamizawa's supernatural phenomena. It's impossible to hide things from God. Assassinating Rika Furute wouldn't be so easy. Alright, Rika-chan. Let's see which one of us deserves to inherit the legend of Oyashiro-sama. Your death will be the final curse of Oyashiro-sama, and it will mark the finale of this legendary village. When that happens, my plan will become the real curse.
She's got drip.
Yeah.
Takano's got drip.
It was now past 8 a.m.
PM.
8 p.m. Mion ordered some noodles for us, her treat. We also ordered some food for the 4 officers, and we all ate together. We were supposed to call it a night as soon as we talked to Oishi, but he's still not here. However, we all took it easy, assuming that they'd get here sooner or later. It's getting late. Once you get to Hinamizawa, there aren't many places to get something to eat. I'm sure they're having a quick dinner before coming here. However, the 4 officers seem anxious. They all had families, but Oishi didn't tell them how late they have to be out here. They're hoping that Oishi will bring other officers to relieve them so they can go home. They called the station, but all they said was that Oishi was on his way, and we should wait because he'll be here soon. That Oishi sure is late.
I'm sure he's stuck in traffic. It's still rush hour.
8 p.m.
Thanks, Mion.
Those officers have been here since this afternoon, right? They must be tired by now.
I know. It sucks that they don't even know when they can go home.
Should we patrol outside so they can get some rest? We could have Sadako set up some traps to prevent strangers from coming in here.
No, good thinking, Dion-san. However, just think, this is our house. We already have several traps set up around this place.
Really? We should be careful when we're around here. With our stomachs full, the mood in the house returned to a lighthearted one. True, we shouldn't be so relaxed, but knowing that Oishi would be here shortly made us feel relieved. But he's so late. He said he'd be here in an hour. Mion mentioned he might have gotten stuck in traffic, but I'm sure Oishi was considering that. That's why he told me it'd take him about an hour. And it had been 1 hour since the time Oishi was supposed to get here. I want to believe that he's getting something to eat on the way, but I'm starting to get concerned. Oishi still hasn't shown up. It's almost 11 o'clock. The officers are completely exhausted. They had even started to smoke cigarettes outside. My friends are becoming tired too. Sadako is yawning. It's way past our bedtime. Everyone else is getting tired and sleepy. We've been spending our time watching TV and reading manga. I can feel my fear succumbing to sleepiness. Today is almost over. I'm going to survive the day that I was supposed to die. Does that mean I escaped my deadly fate? No. I'll have to fight endlessly from tomorrow on. I was going to discuss that with Oishi. Since he's not here, I don't know what to do from this point on. Suddenly the phone rang, breaking the silence.
Is that Oishi-san?
Hello, this is the Furide residence.
Okanogi. Oh.
I'm sorry to call you this late. This is Komiyama calling from the Okinomiya Police Department. By any chance, is Detective Oishi there with you?
No, we've been waiting for him for a long time.
I see. We'll send out more officers. So will you tell the ones there to leave when their relief comes?
Okay, I'll do that. So, where is Oishi?
We got a call from him this evening saying he was heading there directly, so we thought he'd be with you already. The officers were supposed to return after Oishi arrived, but they haven't come back, so we're wondering what's going on.
That's what I'd like to know, but arguing with the man on the phone wouldn't accomplish anything. I hung up and gave the message to the officers downstairs. It looked like everyone already heard our exchange on the phone.
I wonder what's going on. He's way too late.
Maybe he ran into some important case that he had to take care of.
He would have called us if so. He told us that he was on the way. I think he'd call us if something was going on.
Was he attacked by Tokyo?
No way! But if they're really as scary as Rika-chama told us, that might be a possibility.
He probably had something to take care of. I bet he forgot to call us. Remember, he's a tough guy. No one can take him down that easily.
Yeah, I do hope he gets here soon.
Sadako yawned. Everyone laughs, but some of them are trying not to yawn themselves. We can't stay here forever. We decided if we'd call it a night once the replacement officers arrived. I'm sure I've survived past the time I was supposed to die. That's probably because the police were protecting me. Perhaps both Takano and the mountain dogs are also on my side, and they took care of the murderer.
Lamau.
I don't know who was changing my fate. Maybe my fate hasn't been changed, and I'm going to get killed soon anyway. I don't know if it's because of the police or because of the mountain dogs, but the only thing I know for sure is that I'm still alive. Soon I heard the noise of someone walking the gravel on the shrine grounds.
Okay, but is Rika? Now that I've, experienced such a vastly new, different timeline, I have, a rejuvenation of energy to get back into this shit. Because now it becomes, how do I get this specific? How do I repeat this constantly? How do I get this consistently? Mm-hmm. And then you just keep rolling, and then all of a sudden, literally the next loop, or 2 loops later, you figure out Takano's evil, and killing Tomatake. It's that easy.
One of my friends suggested it might be Oishi, but I doubt it. I don't want to expect him and be disappointed when it's not. I'm starting to think like on you.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, I'm Komiyama. I'm from the Okinomiya Police Department.
It wasn't Oishi. 2 of his fellow detectives had arrived instead. They were going to stay downstairs and have the 4 officers return home. They also told my friends to leave.
And we'll stay here to protect her, so please go home. Your families must be worried about you.
Thank you so much, everyone. The detectives are here, so I'm okay now.
Are you sure? We'll stay here tonight if you'd like.
I'm fine. Besides, I don't have any extra pajamas and blankets for you guys. See you tomorrow, then. We'll try and stay with you as much as we can from now on. How about we do club activities here after school?
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
My floor might break with all of these people here.
It might really break.
Thanks, Keiichi.
Well, Rika-chama, we're going home now, but be careful. Do not go out alone in dark.
In the dark.
Do not go out alone in the dark under any circumstance.
I'll be careful. All right. All right. See you tomorrow. Yes, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Am I really going to see them tomorrow? I have no clue. I've tried so many things over the past 100 years. I've done many things, and I have memories of most of them. That's why I feel so scared on the day I die. It's the only day that I have no memory of. I don't even know if I'm approaching or escaping my death right now. All I know is that this fear is going to continue until I find some kind of solution. As I started getting ready for bed, Sadako suggested that I should sleep in my regular clothes rather than my pajamas. She was thinking that I should remain dressed, just in case someone tries to attack me in my sleep. It sounded ridiculous, but she was just trying to be considerate. I decided to do what she told me to. Sadako seemed so sleepy until a few minutes ago, but she suddenly started passionately explaining to me all the traps she set on the shrine grounds. She assured me that strangers will end up trapped if they tried to sneak inside this building. To someone else, it might sound like she was just trying to brag, but Sadako was trying to make me feel better. After everyone else left, she noticed how scared I looked. Sadako's kindness, and everyone else's kindness. I feel it was the right decision for me to talk to my friends, even if that won't end up changing my fate.
Rika.
Hanyu showed up again. She looked upset, so she was probably still thinking that I could get killed at any minute. But I'm actually starting to feel a little better. I might get killed tomorrow, but I feel like I can rest safely at least tonight. I'm more concerned about the fact that Oishi didn't show up. Still, even if he didn't, the other detectives are here, and we'll stay on guard downstairs without sleeping.
Speaking of the plot hole gun, she could just be like, hey, can you go look for Oishi?
As long as they're here, I think I'll be safe tonight.
This is... Oh? Oh. No.
Oh.
Yeah, this
What's
is Rika.
wrong? Are you hungry? I didn't eat anything sweet today. Do you want me to drink some juice? Hanyu would usually cheer up right when I suggested drinking some juice, but not this time. Her face looked pale, as if she wasn't even alive. Something out of the ordinary had clearly happened. What's wrong?
It's almost time.
That sounded far more like a declaration than a prediction. Even Hanyu doesn't have any memories of my death. There's no way she can tell when I will be killed. However, she sounded so certain just now. Perhaps we can feel it in the very cells of our body. Our bodies understand fate far better than we do. Up until now, I felt reassured that we could get through it somehow if we were all together. But I clung to that life preserver with a hole leaking air. I was starting to drown in a sea of despair and struggling to keep my head above water. No, I can't let myself feel that way. I have to believe. It's okay, Hanyu. I'm going to fight. Even if I get killed tomorrow, I'm not going to die tonight. Hanyu just gave me a look of faint sadness. That silence told me that my pitiful hope was going to push me down into a futile reality. I stared at Sadako as she continued to brag about her traps. If I'm getting killed shortly, Sadako won't be safe either. I quickly interrupted her talk about traps. The time was 1 a.m.
Hey, technically she lived.
It's hardly a big city. 1 a.m. in Hinamizawa is the middle of the night. The darkness here gets very deep. There was light leaking out from the first floor, where the two detectives sat on guard, but everything else was pitch black. Even the moonlight seemed indistinct. It's time.
yeah.
Two detectives are downstairs. It's been more than an hour since the light went out above them. Awaiting orders to begin the attack. What a beautiful night. You have permission to engage.
Yeah, I was like, that's Takano for sure.
You can take him.
Should we terminate the detectives?
Yes. Everyone in the Furude Shrine will be deemed away tonight. It's better that way. HQ to Phoenix. Commence the mission. Terminate the two detectives. You do not have permission to fire. I repeat, you do not have permission to fire your weapons. HQ to Nightingale. Phoenix has commenced the mission. Shut down the phone lines.
Roger. We're shutting them down.
They had been working to disable the phone lines, just in case their target tried to contact the police during the attack. That mission was what Oishi happened to bump into.
You can take it. We'll just rotate.
Let's begin. Phoenix 1 to all units. Be prepared when you enter. Terminate the two detectives on the first floor and the one companion on the second. Do not leave any evidence. Do not fire your weapons or use any gas. Use your tasers. Remember, they have guns. Do not let them fire.
Oh, lol. This is, yeah, Okanogi.
Come on, don't embarrass me, Okanogi.
I'm just doing my job. Phoenix 7 and 8, advance forward. Backup teams, secure the perimeter.
Roger, we're heading in now. The two men in uniform slowly approached the building. Mountain Dog's uniform was gray, so it didn't blend in with their surroundings at all.
Those are the same motherfuckers that chase Keiichi and fucking Oni Kikuchi, aren't they? Because he mentions adults wearing gray
I
clothing.
genuinely don't know what the hell happens in that scene. I honestly don't know.
I think it is. I think they're.
It might
I think
be. It could be, but I genuinely have no idea why that scene happens in my mind.
No. But hear me out. Let me cook with this, right? So we've talked about that Irie uses people that go terminal to study the illness. Keiichi goes terminal in that scene. Like, he is
Okay.
terminal of the Hinamizawa syndrome. So that is obviously before as well they enact Operation Doomsday. So it would make a shit ton of sense that Irie sends the Mountain Dogs out to go get Keiichi so then he can bring him back, which is why they have him in Keiichi's house, because they're bringing Irie over with the Mountain Dogs to give him a dose of the staller, basically, that they're using on Sadako so he can come down from his symptoms.
Maybe.
Because he does talk about two grown-ass adults in gray outfits that beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So that would make a fuck ton of sense that the Mountain Dogs are the one that beat the piss out of him. Because the fact that Ryukishi is telling us their uniform is gray immediately tells you that anytime we mention a weird adult throughout the entire series that's wearing a gray outfit, the gardeners are in gray. Fucking anytime people have been jumped like that, they're in gray. Like, we are just getting told, hello, that's the Mountain Dogs that do literally fucking anything in the game.
Gotcha.
Damn, he's cooking with this.
However, it doesn't look as suspicious as real camouflage suits. Of course, they look suspicious enough creeping up to the house like that anyway. They could both see light leaking from the door and hear the voices of the detectives. Rika would typically use this sliding door to get inside. The door was locked, but the Mountain Dogs had obtained a spare key a long time ago. They put the key in the keyhole, but it wouldn't go in smoothly. They were certain it would make some kind of noise when they turned it. The detectives would notice them the minute they did that. They'd have to rush inside and defeat them in one swift burst. Phoenix's 7 and 8 glanced at each other.
This is Phoenix 7. We arrived at your target location. Waiting for your command.
Takano here. Make it nice and clean. Go ahead.
Roger. We're breaking in.
Clack, clack. He turned the key in a hurry and opened the lock. By the time the detectives turned around, the door was already open and the two Mountain Dogs had stepped inside. They had aimed their weapons at the detectives while the latter were still turning around. It was like in a fight like that, the first 2 seconds are the most crucial moments. The detectives collapsed, making minimal noise. There were needles stuck in their bodies, and those needles were connected via wires to the attackers' guns. In other words, the weapons those two had weren't ordinary guns. They were stun guns in the shape of firearms. Instead of bullets, they shoot out electric needles that electrocute their victims into unconsciousness.
Interesting.
Normally, they would be non-lethal weapons that allow the shooter to capture their victim without harming them much, but their tasers had been modified. The two dogs started walking up to the stairs as soon as they confirmed that the detectives were no longer breathing. But in the next moment, they heard a loud noise above them. This is Phoenix 10. R and her companion have noticed us. They just jumped out from the second floor window. They're running into the forest.
Attention Phoenix 4 and 5. They're heading your way. Capture them.
Roger, let's go. Phoenix 4 spotted the two girls and started after them, but he suddenly stepped into something hard. Pow pow pow. The cheap sounding explosive, the area was filled with smoke.
They're actually going to get Viet Cong, dude. Holy shit.
That was a trap Sadako had set using firecrackers. They had proven to be a very fortunate idea. The mountain dogs dropped to the ground, assuming that they were under fire. That gave Rika and Sadako a chance to escape.
Who are they? Are they the organization from Tokyo that you were talking about?
I think so. Just run. We're dead if they catch us. What's going on? Well, maybe that's...
Oh, Okanogi?
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on? What was that noise?
This is Phoenix 5. Someone's shooting at us. Ours escaped. We'll continue the pursuit. Shit, they were just some firecrackers. Damn it.
Takano.
That must be Sadako-chan's handiwork. She's pretty good.
What? Hurry. Oh, Okanogi? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
What? Hurry up. Don't let them escape inside someone's house.
This is Phoenix 18. I've spotted the targets. I need some backup.
They really do have 20 of them, don't they?
That's Okanogi.
Okay.
They know this area very well. If we don't get them now, we'll definitely lose them.
This wasn't a game of hide and seek. It was a game of tag. Several men in uniform were chasing after Rika and Sadako. They weren't idiots, so they didn't waste energy on a futile act of shouting wait. This was a quiet, deadly game of tag in the middle of the night.
Where are we going?
Let's split up and try to shake them off. We'll meet at Mii's house. Her basement will be safe, and we can contact the police from there. Sadako had no idea that Mion had a basement in her house, but she didn't have time to ask anything about it. Under her current circumstances.
I'm drawing the map in my head. Because I forgot that, like, Mion's compound has, like, the huge access to the mountains in the back, and, like, that connects to the shrine grounds. I think so. That's at least how I interpret it, is that they kind of have, like, similar backyards, you know?
I think...
Ryukishi has never given us a canon map. I know that, but that's how I'm interpreting it. Especially if they're running into the woods to go to Mii-chan's house. I'm assuming that the woods connect to Mii's house.
I have no idea.
Sadako's gonna die, and I'm
All
gonna
she
be
did was
mad.
nod. Bang. The next moment, I felt my left foot catch on something, and excuse me.
God
The
damn
next
it, Rika.
moment, I felt my left foot catch on something, and I fell down to the ground. I must have tripped on a rock or a piece of concrete.
Rika!
Get out of here, Sadako! You'll be killed! But Sadako wouldn't move on without me. She started to come back to lend me a hand. I stood up without her help, but it cost us too much time. One of the men had almost caught up with us. I didn't know what to do, but Sadako, upon seeing him, quickly reacted.
Ah!
Ugh! Sadako ran toward him and kicked him with all of her might. Her foot landed right in his face. I wish I had a camera. But there was two more of them right behind the first man. I can see them clearly now. They're the gardeners from that landscape company. They're wearing the same uniforms Okanogi is always wearing. They must be the mountain dogs. Now I'm certain that Takano is the culprit. And now I know that
Based, Rika!
I can do something about it in the next world.
Thank fuck! Oh, I thought she was gonna choke that, man. The whole time, I'm just like, Rika is just gonna be like, well, guess I gotta give up, man. Oh, thank fucking God, dude.
But if I die now, will I lose my memory again? I can't die now. I need to survive so I can keep my memories. Sadako took something out of her pocket and threw it at them. It was something like sand, and it blinded them. However, even that could only buy us a few seconds. Sadako tried to run, but she froze as soon as they aimed their weapons at us. Their stun guns are only shaped like firearms. Sadako, not knowing that, thought they were real guns. Knowing that she'll be shot if she turned and ran, Sadako tried to attack them instead.
Dude, Sadako's based.
Of course, there were 3 of them. Most would think it was impossible to drive them off, but Sadako didn't think about that. She had a 100% chance of dying as she tried to run. Then she might as well fight back, because she might have a 1% chance of defeating them. Sadako is determined to save me, even at her own expense. But I can't stay in this world if it means losing Sadako.
Bro, Rika, you just gotta go and save the fucking memory, bro. Fuck Sadako.
I'm dying anyway. I'd rather die for Sadako's sake than lose her. But another me was shouting in my mind, if I don't survive this, I'll lose this memory. If I die without keeping this memory, this life and everything I've learned will all be wasted. Should I escape and leave Sadako behind? That's right. I should use my experience to use this experience to my advantage in my next life. I should just let go of her in this world. No way. That would really make me a witch. But I know in my heart,
Rika.
I know that there's no way I can win against these guys. I'm sure their backup will get here right if we take our time to fight them. I should fight them for her. Should I fight them for her, or should I leave so I can confront my true enemy? A. Leave Sadako to keep my memories. B. Save Sadako and lose my memories.
Fuck, dude. Oh, what?
Sadako. Whoa, he was. Whoa.
Does it even, do I have a choice, or does it just say that?
Who's this?
Rika?
Who is that?
Rika? Keiichi?
Satoshi?
Satoshi?
Finally, he's back.
How do I...
He opened Spotify.
Yeah, I'm like fucking panicking. Holy shit, it's Satoshi, dude. God damn it. Satoshi's back.
Yeah.
It's not Satoshi.
Yeah.
Is it Keiichi? Irie?
Yes. Just pick a voice and use it.
I'm gonna do a Keiichi read. This is a Keiichi read incoming. Sadako!
Sadako's bravery.
It was
nope.
Rika. It was Rika.
Sadako! Sadako's bravery gives me courage. If I left her, I'd lose my motivation to defeat fate. I don't care if I lose my memories. It only took 100 years for me to get this information. I don't care if I spend another 100 years in the same June. I can't leave Sadako. Sadako, I'm fighting too.
Rika? I told you to go!
I had noticed something. They were only aiming at Sadako. There must be a reason they can't shoot me. So I stood in front of Sadako to protect her. Just as I expected, they put their guns down, and prepared to take us without weapons. You guys are the mountain dogs, so Takano's behind this? Yeah, I'm so stupid. I know who you are, but I chose not to run. I'm not going to run. And if you're going to kill me now, someone once told me that fate can be destroyed as easily as a piece of paper. They must think this is my final speech. They let me talk until I was finished. You people are pathetic. That's why you will never kill me. The next moment, one of them dropped to the ground.
I fucking knew it, dude! I fucking knew it! I love Keiichi, man!
I kicked him from behind.
I fucking love Keiichi!
Oh my god, the mic peeking.
Fucking knew it, dude! Keiichi's my fucking boy, man! Oh.
I wish we had a compressor so you could scream and I don't have to lower it by 15 decibels.
It's, you know, it's just the pure heart and soul I put into this, you know?
Keiichi had kicked him right in the small of his back, and the dog was squirming on the ground.
He's such a boy,
The other two
dude.
tried to retaliate, but they were too late. Mian grabbed one of the guy's arms from behind and flipped him to the ground.
Me and the boys?
It must be some kind of martial art. I've seen something like that in an action movie before. Rena tried to push the remaining dog down with all of her strength, but that wasn't enough to take him out. He tried to aim his gun at Rena, but she had already done what she was supposed to. All she needed was to get his attention.
Shion Gaming, yep.
Shiana snuck up behind him and she fired her stun gun into his neck. The stun gun made a snapping noise, and the dog fell to the ground with the rest of his friends.
Yo, we gotta start killing these motherfuckers, dude. Like, time to kill them while they're down, you know?
Take a screenshot of that. We got both the twins with the wow.
We have both wows. Wow. Kasai told me this was illegally modified. It works pretty well. Shion, hit this guy too. Are you guys okay? That was close. You ran so fast, it took us a lot of time to catch up.
I'm really glad we stuck around. We were waiting out here in case anything happened.
You mean you stayed out here without going back home?
Yup. I saw someone who looked suspicious staring at the shrine when we were leaving.
I'm really surprised you saw him in this darkness. Neither lies nor camouflage work on you, huh?
So figuring he would leave if they spoke to them, they would secretly staked out that suspicious man. They started following us as soon as they heard the sound of firecrackers. I never expected to be saved like this.
We can't stay here any longer. What should we do now?
The compound, dude.
We were trying to get to Mion-san's house. You have a basement there, apparently?
Ah, the underground storehouse. That's a perfect spot. We also got some weapons inside there. Shh! Don't say that out loud. Anyway, I think that's a good idea. There's several secret passages in there, so we can get the drop on them.
Come on, let's go. They're still after us. There's dialogue in this fucking song.
Yeah, no, I was hearing that.
A white van was approaching us at high speed. It obviously belonged to the mountain dogs. The van stopped not far from us, and more people in uniform jumped out. There were at least 6 of them. If we all run, the slowest runner might get caught, so we should take them down while we can. I don't know if they have a license, but Mion and Shion know how to drive a car. We can take their van and get away from here.
There's 6 of them. That's perfect. Let's beat them unconscious and steal their van.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Let's go get them.
The mountain dogs were ready to chase us. They had no idea that we would try to attack them instead. Rena was always the first one to make a move in this kind of situation. She gets so determined once a decision is made. She immediately singled out one dog and punched him in the nose. Another one tried to grab her from behind, but Keiichi kicked him in the side as hard as he could.
Hey, Rena, watch your back.
I'll leave that to you, Keiichi-kun. Please look after me.
God, they're so cute. I'm kind of curious about what you were like back in Ibaraki. You sure don't hesitate to punch people. And you don't hesitate to zap people with an illegal stun gun.
Given that Shion had the stun gun, the mountain dogs were reluctant to go after her. They were scared of the very dangerous weapon she had in her hand. But thanks to that, Shion had stopped one of them for certain. It was fortunate for us that they didn't have any guns of their own. They had no way of countering Shion's stun gun. Sadako attacked him from behind. She encircled his neck with a jump rope and pulled.
You know, I'm not even gonna ask where she got it from, bro.
Shion followed it up, quickly hitting them with her stun gun.
Sadako's got like the bag of holding with just a bunch of bullshit ahead at all times, man.
What was I doing during all of that? The only thing I can do is run around and try to get their attention. They're pursuing me, after all. They want to catch me more than anything else. But that leaves them open to attacks from my friends. Keiichi had already hit the one trying to grab me. I think we have a chance here. We may not be able to take them all take all of them down, but we can try and find a chance to escape to their vehicle.
With what Rika-chan said, I thought these guys would be really strong, but they're not that bad.
That's just how strong we club members are.
True. Not being afraid is probably the secret to strength. Sis's club activities are practically training to rid you of your hesitation.
If we all fight together, if we all fight together, we can win this 6-on-6 battle. If any of us weren't here, they'd beat us easily. We'd end up dead. If my friends hadn't stayed behind, I would have been killed by now. We can do it. We can make it.
Dude, they're in such fuck it we ball mode.
The dogs Shion took down with her stun gun were starting to wake up. The ones that we knocked out earlier were also up and chasing us again. We have to get out of here. This isn't the time for us just to be running around. Fine. Let's see what I can do.
Hanyu, why are you here, man? Fuck off.
Rika?
Hanyu, I know you still can't believe in hope. Just like always, stay there and see what my stubbornness can do. I'm going to change this fate. I'm going to do it right here. Let me show you what I'm capable of.
Rika's about to learn how to drive a car.
All right, everyone. We're going to finish this right now. Take down whoever's in front of you. Then we're going to grab their car and get out of here.
Yes, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you go, Rika-chan. All right, let's go.
Oh, the zoom.
On Keiichi's signal, we attacked the 6 of the mountain dogs in unison. Then time gradually slowed down. I truly felt like I was trying to overcome that impossible wall of time and change my fate. However, time continued to slow even further until it stopped.
What?
What's going on? It felt like the film reel of a movie had gotten hung up partway through. Like time itself had come to a standstill.
Are we about to get robbed by, like, Rika time magic?
Hanyu? What's this all about?
What? The time has come.
What? Why? Wearing a sad expression, Hanyu pointed at Keiichi. I finally noticed something. All my friends had noticed already, except for Keiichi. Keiichi, what's that floating in front of your chest?
What do you mean? Huh? What is this?
Time had stopped. Just when Keiichi was about to hit his opponent, he then realized that something was floating in front of his heart. It was a metallic silver cone. That was the first thing I could think of.
They got knives, bro.
Yes, I don't know why I was trying to take that
No,
line.
no, Kei-chan.
Oh, they got knives, man.
What the hell is this? Is this a bullet?
Oh no, Keiichi got fucking shot. Okay.
That's exactly what it was. The bullet had stopped about 15 centimeters away from Keiichi's chest, just before it would enter his body. That's right. Once time started moving again, it will slam into his chest.
What's happening?
In other words, it's too late. Keiichi will immediately die when time starts up again. What? Who shot it? Those 6 guys didn't have any guns. Look, over there, by the van. Sadako.
Oh, Sadako.
Sadako couldn't point at the van. Time had completely stopped after all. We could see another person standing near the van. There had actually been 7 people inside.
Oh, they forgot about the driver?
Not 6. That 7th person was the one who fired the bullet. We hadn't seen her at all.
Okay, it's just Takano, never mind.
That person is someone we all know very well. Yes, it's Takano. It's... I don't know who this...
Rena?
It's Takano-san. She shot the gun. She shot Keiichi-kun. In the frozen world, Takano was smiling, still aiming her gun at Keiichi. Takano had been watching us from the van this whole time. She came out and fired her gun, knowing that we hadn't seen her at all.
Is Keiichi?
I see. I get it now. So Takano-san was a bad guy all along.
Mion, I guess.
Oh, what are we gonna do? Kei-chan, can't you try and twist your body to avoid the bullet? Don't be stupid. Time has totally stopped. I can't move at all.
Like, what is happening, man?
Then try moving it right then try moving right as soon as time starts moving again. That might make a difference.
Everyone was desperate to save Keiichi. However, no matter how hard we thought, we couldn't come up with any ideas to save him from the bullet. We were so desperate that Keiichi started to laugh.
I really don't know what's going on, but there's nothing that can be done. I'm dead the minute time starts moving again. Even if I don't die, I won't be any help to you guys anymore. So listen, just give up on me. You only need to think about taking these guys down and getting inside of that van.
07 Keiichi? That's my motherfucking boy, man.
Which one is this? Is it?
This is Rika.
Never. You can't die. I don't want to lose you. Hanyu, are you telling me this is my fate? Are you saying that there's no way to overcome this?
It's okay, Rika. You won't remember this. You won't.
No.
Oh no. I'm just gonna do Shion. I haven't read her voice. No! Kei-chan is not going to die! Fuck! The one time, man!
Why would you? It's obvious.
Because I haven't done a fucking Shion read for the Kei-chans yet. It's, it's a grief.
Stop it, Mi-chan. Let's concentrate on taking them down. I'm sure Keiichi wouldn't want us spending time turning back on him as he falls.
That's exactly how I feel, Rena. Guys, take care of Rika-chan. Get out of here and contact Coach. They probably killed Oishi-san. That's why you never showed up. Listen, promise you'll all survive. Promise me.
Keiichi.
Rika-chan, I'm sorry. I'm the one who told you that we could change destiny, but I'm gonna have to retire now.
It sounded just like Takano's regular laughter, but it's the scariest noise I'd ever heard.
Oh, Takano's in the frozen dimension too. Okay, my bad.
Are you ready to let go of your life now?
Takano-san, we haven't lost just yet.
Done watching your life flash before your eyes?
Dude, 07 Keiichi?
The silence suddenly ended, and the clamor of reality returned. An explosive sound that then hit Keiichi straight in the chest. I watched Keiichi collapse right in front of me. He fell down on his back while his blood splattered everywhere, and after that, he stopped moving. There's no way any of us weren't shocked by that. We tried to take down the foes in front of us, but more came from behind. We tried to struggle as best we could, but there was no way we could win against all those adults. I did my best to fight them off, but they pulled my hair and picked me up as if I weighed nothing. I heard everyone's desperate screams of resistance. The comforting and courageous unity we showed right before Keiichi was shot shattered like glass. The debris of that glass lay sadly on the ground. Takano's annoying laughter was still echoing inside my ears. Takano to HQ. I've taken care of it. I need what I told you before. I also need someone to clean up the bodies. Send me 5 bags and some water to clean up the area. Understand?
What am I caught on?
Me, my foot.
Oh. Going around you. There we go.
She needs 5 bags. My body froze up, but time did not. Takano, laughing, pointed her gun at Mion's head.
I hate her outfit, man. Bye, Mion.
Hey, are you kidding me?
I've always wanted to see that tattoo on your back. I'm gonna take a peek at it later.
Sure, have a look if you want. It's nothing special.
Oh? You don't think I'll find it interesting?
Oh, this is Rika. No?
Stop, don't shoot her.
It's definitely not Mion.
That was
It's Rena.
Stop, don't shoot her. It's like very slightly different than that.
Yeah.
Takano shook her head in response to Rena's scream. I have to kill her. She's the leader of your club, so she has to go first.
Rika?
Mion.
Mion? Okay. No, stop! By Mion.
Pow. There's a dull noise, followed by Mion's body twitching. We all tried to break free from the minions raining us as Takano calmly shot Mion. However, they were too strong, and all we could do was squirm like insects. Takano was enjoying watching us struggle. She then stepped towards Sadako, but Shion started screaming curses at her. My, you want to be shot before her? You could have stayed alive a few more seconds if you were nice and quiet.
Dude, Takano's the worst. I love this character.
Stop it! Shion-san! Don't agitate her like that!
I know why she's doing that. Shion wants to protect Sadako for as long as she can. She's trying to do what Satoshi told her to do.
Based Shion in this timeline, man.
Takano didn't care one whit for Shion's feelings. Stepping over Keiichi's body, she approached Shion.
I get it now. You killed Satoshi-kun, didn't you? Isn't that the truth?
Sorry, I don't like giving out secrets, so I'm not telling.
Dude, Satoshi confirmed Takano actually killed my baby boy.
Shion's dead.
Goodbye, Shion.
Shion's body twitched. That had followed the dull sound of another gunshot. Just two dull sounds had stolen away the lively Sonozaki sisters. It didn't add up. I started shaking from fear when it hit me just how easily Takano can take away lives.
Dude, she's the fucking leader of, like, Japan's assassination, like, underground group. Of course she could just murder people and not care.
Hey, is it that amusing for you to take away innocent lives, you monster? Oh, so you want to die next? You're going to be the last one if you stay quiet. Keiichi, Mion, and Shion died. The oldest one of us left was Rina. Rina didn't want to see Sadako and me die before she did. So you were the culprit behind the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Do you think you're Oyashiro-sama's proxy or something? I'm not a proxy. I'm handing out divine punishment. It's too bad that you're not going to see it. Soon enough, Oyashiro-sama's wrath is going to destroy this whole village. But I'm the one who's going to make that happen. It's my curse. Yes, I'm going to become Oyashiro-sama. I'm going to become something more than human. You'll never understand how I feel. You'll never understand how wonderful it is to become a god.
Dude, she's such a LARPer. Holy shit, man. What a loser.
I don't think that's possible. No matter how much you try to become Oyashiro-sama, it won't work. It's just a game for you. You'll never become Oyashiro-sama. I will. The process has already begun. Rina laughed at her. Takano seemed very upset to hear that laugh. What's so funny? It's impossible. Because Oyashiro-sama is already here.
Okay, bye, Rina.
Those were Rina's last words.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's... Well, it's your turn now, Sadako-chan. I don't really care if you live or die, but you're a living research sample. Tokyo has a bounty on capturing you alive. But it's not very much. I sure would run out with just a trip to Europe. If I capture you alive, nothing good will happen to you anyway. They'll probably open up your skull and probe through your brain while you're still alive. Besides, I was your friend. I think it might be kinder to shoot you dead right here. Which would you prefer?
I can't decide that.
Sadako shouted back at her. Her eyes were full of tears. Let's do a quiz then. Yeah?
Dude, Takano's so based.
Which one is green? Broccoli or cauliflower?
Takano's the best character in this game, man. I called it early. I called that shit, like, in fucking Watanagashi. I called that shit so early. What a fucking madman.
It's No, it's broccoli.
Bye, Sadako. That's so fucked up, bro. Ryukishi simultaneously writing a tragic, like, ISIS execution of the club, but also making it the funniest fucking thing you've ever read.
As soon as I heard that same dull sound, Sadako stopped moving. Takano smiled and said, "Good girl." So it used to be Sadako. This really is such a lovely and beautiful night. Don't you agree?
I'm telling you, I'm hoping so hard Rika remembers what happens because she isn't blackout drunk like she usually is.
So, you're going to kill me too? Yes, I'll kill you. The corpse of the Queen Carrier is the key to this mission. You're going to become an ugly political tool far away in Tokyo, and then the legend of Onikafuchi will finally come to an end. I know how you're planning to kill me. Oh, you do? Let's hear it.
And then that's when Rika bites the cyanide capsule that she has in her mouth.
I'm not going to say it, but I know. It's Watanagashi. She wants to do the real Watanagashi using my body. I'm sure she's planning to cut open my stomach and pull out my guts. To do that, she'll make me inhale some chemical to put me to sleep. I vaguely remember that part. I guess you already know. Good night, Rika-chan. One of the dogs approached me with a handkerchief soaked in chemical substance. Wait a minute, Takano. Everyone's dead, but you're begging for your life. That's not it. If you're going to kill me, do it without putting me to sleep. Takano hadn't expected to hear that. So,
Wait, Rika's cooking.
even though she was surprised, she nodded with a slight smile. Hanyu was also surprised to hear that. It would obviously be a terrible way to die. What are you thinking? Wouldn't you prefer an easy and painless death? You know it's going to be horrible, right? I'm going to cut open your stomach while you're still alive. I don't want to forget about it. Yes, I'm doing this so that I'll remember. I'm not going to forget about it. The picture of you cutting into my stomach will be forever burned into my soul. I'm never going to forget that. Next time I see you, I'll remember that you did this to me. What are you cooking up in your little head? I guess you're smarter than the other kids. At least you'd get to have a chance to scream for your life. I'm not gonna let you do that, though. They forced something other than the handkerchief inside my mouth.
Rika, you choked it, dude. You fucking choked it.
It was
Oh,
a
wait,
gag.
no, she didn't choke it.
With that in, I couldn't close my mouth, leading to my saliva to start overflowing.
Oh, Rika's cooking, dude.
Soon, another van arrived. More mountain dogs came out of it. They had probably come to get rid of the bodies. They grabbed the corpses of my friends and stuffed them into body bags. After that, they sprayed a bunch of water on the ground to clean up the blood. They asked Takano how many shots he fired and started looking around for the bullets. They were erasing all the evidence. By the time the night was over, there'd be no more proof left. She should have just, used a revolver. That way the shells stay in the gun.
shells stay in the gun? Yeah, honestly, true.
They pulled my hands behind my back and bound them with handcuffs. My ankles were tied up too. They also tied my ankles and wrists together. My body was bent like a shrimp, and I was no longer able to walk. My mouth was covered so I couldn't even talk. I couldn't move, talk, or express myself in any other way. They had taken away everything that made me human. Therefore, I wasn't human anymore. I was just a toy named Rika Furude, a toy to give Takano joy. The car started moving. It seemed like we were going back the way we came, but I didn't care anymore. As the time of my death approached, some of my forgotten memories came back to me. That's right. I was killed like this so many times. Every time I repeated my life, Takano got pleasure out of killing me. Somebody rubbed my head. Were they trying to comfort me? I shook my head to try and refuse. They laughed at me as I did so.
Dude, Rika, she's cooking with this. She's smart. Rika said, I can deal with this once, so then when I have the salty fucking run back, you're about to get 3-0'd. She redeemed herself. I've been hating her this whole fucking game. She redeemed herself in the span of 45 minutes. Rika.
Hanyu showed up. She couldn't hold back her devastated tears.
Again, it didn't work. It didn't work again. Again.
When I saw Hanyu's painful tears, I was convinced. I was wrong. Hanyu is not just a bystander. She's just too scared to face reality because she can't stand the pain anymore. Hanyu wants a happy future too, but her hopes were betrayed countless times and she was hurt far too much. For some reason, seeing her sorrowful expression calmed me down. Perhaps Hanyu was crying in my place. It's okay, Hanyu. We did what we could. We worked very hard. We were getting so close to changing our fate for real. It still didn't work out. But for some reason, I feel satisfied. I never fought this hard in my life. I've never learned so many things. Because I can repeat my life endlessly, I've been taking each one for granted. But everyone else is taking their lives seriously. I wasn't learning anything because I wasn't doing that. But I finally understand. I learned something about this life, and I put all my effort into it. So, I'm sad that I didn't make it, but I feel satisfied just the same. Amazing. I don't think you even paused it. So.
No, we're back. Yeah, I did. Cool.
So, did I read that?
Yeah, you read that. Yeah, the same. It's a strange. Yeah, you read that.
I wonder how many of these memories I can keep. I get the sense that I'm going to lose my memory of this evening. If that's the case, I'll lose my memory of seeing Takano's face. I finally found out that Takano is the mastermind. Am I going to repeat the same world again, not knowing the truth? She killed my friends as if she was merely killing some bugs. I don't want to forget that. No matter how hard my death will be, I need to remember Takano's face. Hanyu, I'm not going to give up. I don't care if I can't recall this memory. I'll continue to live my life. I don't care if I can only live in this June, and that eventually I will only be able to go back to the night of Otanagashi. If that's my life, so be it.
I'm not going to forget either. If you don't remember, I'll tell you the truth.
Hanyu, I knew it. You acted like an unfeeling bystander, but that's just because you were afraid of pain. Of the pain.
I also want to have a happy future with everyone. No.
Hanyu started to cry like a baby. She's so stupid.
True.
She decided to abandon hope because she didn't want to deal with the sadness that she always felt on this night. But she ended up hurt and devastated anyway. Hanyu, are you happy that this world is ending just as like you predicted? I decided not to ask her such an unpleasant question. The car stopped, and the two men pulled me out of the vehicle. We had returned to the Furude Shrine. There were several men waiting in front of the offertory box. I think this is the first time we really just get you. This is the song.
Oh, without like the OG you?
Just the song, yeah. Maybe. I might be wrong. Nearby, there were countless sharp knives laid out on the ground. They are going to cut open my stomach with those tools and pull out my intestines. They took off all of my clothes. They left the gag inside of my mouth and the handcuffs around my wrists. I wasn't embarrassed to be naked in front of them. Rather, I was just furious that Takano was getting joy out of doing this to me. Don't forget this humiliation. The pain I'm about to experience should be carved into my soul forever. I'm not going to forget this. Everyone worked hard together, and we finally revealed who was behind it all.
Rika invites Takano into the ritual storehouse in the next life, and then just fucking murders her.
If I forget this, my friends' efforts and deaths will have been in vain. I need to stay alive as long as I can, so that I will remember the pain. Hanyu, don't look away. You have to watch. Remember this forever.
Ow, ow, ow! Is this really the only way I can help you? Is this all I can do because I can't touch or talk to anyone?
That's good enough. If you continue to stare at me, I can endure this pain. Hanyu nodded and sat right next to me while continuing to cry. We then looked up at the night sky together. The moon was shining brightly, as if it was taking pity upon me. We also looked at the faces of my murderers. That beautiful moon was gradually stained red. It's getting cold. It's so painful. I'm consumed with the fear of not being able to do anything about this, but Hanyu is right next to me. That gives me comfort. It's not just Hanyu either. everyone is here with me. Everyone is there, watching me so I can stand this torture. That's why it wasn't painful. I didn't struggle. I didn't care about Takano's crazy laughter. This was such a wonderful world. We didn't overcome this fate, but I have no regrets. Of course, I'm still sad. I'm disappointed. My future was right in front of my eyes. My hand could almost reach it. Even so, we did what we could. I have to be proud of myself. Keiichi voiced his disagreement. He still felt that we could have done more. We were almost there. We almost defeated this fate. We didn't win, but not because our enemies were strong. We didn't win because we didn't try hard enough.
But all you worked so hard together. I was watching. I saw the whole thing.
But it wasn't enough. If we had a will strong enough to overcome this fate, we should have created a miracle.
That's right. A miracle would happen if everyone believes in it.
Sadako, Rika-chama, and everyone else worked so hard.
I'm sorry, Rika. You were brave enough to ask us for help, but I couldn't save you.
Sadako held my shoulder and cried. That's true, everyone worked so hard, but it still didn't work out. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I'm going to die again, but I've never felt it so good about it. I've learned so many things in this world. Rika-chan, I know why the miracle didn't happen in this world. Rina spoke gently, but she wasn't smiling at all. Hey, did everyone really believe that we could create a miracle? If you're hoping for a future, but not everyone believes in it, then a miracle won't happen.
What are you saying, Rina? We were united. No one had doubts that we could overcome this fate. Right, Mion?
Yeah, he's right, Rena. Everyone thought we could overcome it. Everyone believed that we could.
Yeah, that's quite true. Even Rika believed in it. She finally believed that with our help, she could change her destiny.
I believed in it too, but I think there was someone who didn't believe.
And who is that?
Hanyu?
What? Who can it be? Hey, you.
Yep. I hate this character, man. I fucking hate Hanyu so much.
Rina turned to Hanyu and asked her a question. Did you believe? Did you believe we could overcome this fate?
Ow, ow, ow.
Even if you can't talk to us or touch us, you can still believe. If you believed in us, the miracle could have happened.
Faced. Would something really have changed if I believed? I'm a powerless existence. I can't do anything. All I can do is watch and accept. You're saying that I could have made a miracle happen just by believing?
Yeah, you could have.
Keiichi stated it clearly. He wasn't trying to blame her. He was just stating the truth. That's right. There were 6 of us, and there were 7 of them. If you believed along
She's right.
they're alongside us. There's some
Yeah.
manga gamer moment.
Helpful.
If you believe alongside us, we would have numbered 7 souls. That the miracle could have happened. You don't make miracles happen by touching. The miracle could have happened. You don't make miracles happen by touching something or saying something. You make them happen by believing.
Ow, 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 ow.
Hanyu had realized that this ending wasn't caused by fate. It was because she didn't believe. In other words, this happened because she was so weak as to accept this fate. She started crying again. We don't even know your name, but you still needed to be brave enough to fight this fear and pain. You needed to have the courage to defeat fate. If you believed, we'd be moving on to a bright future. If your refusal to believe in it is the sole reason we couldn't reach it, then the responsibility is yours.
I'm so glad everyone died and then instantly blamed Hanyu. Honestly, so deserved.
Fair. It was hard to believe Rina could say something so harsh. Her words were piercing Hanyu's heart, but those words were necessary for me and for her. Only faith can create a miracle. That sounds like something you might hear in a fairy tale. It's not easy to put it into action. People suspect others. They don't trust others. It's easier to protect. It's easier to not have hope. It's so difficult to believe. That's why faith can make miracles happen.
Don't you realize that I can't even touch people? Don't you realize that I can't even speak to them? You still think I can make a miracle happen just by believing in something?
Listen, you're talking to me right now. I've never talked to you before, but I always knew you're there. I was always thinking about how I could communicate with you. I always knew you're watching when we were all having fun hanging out together.
But even if I wanted to be involved, you guys can't see me or hear my voice. You'll think that I'm a monster or something. I don't want people to think of me as a monster.
We never think of you that way. If you're with us, you're a friend.
Yeah, we wouldn't call our friend a monster.
It's your heart that determines whether you're a monster or not. Right, Shion? Lol. Indeed. I guess I'm more like a monster in that sense. Shion's such a rat bastard.
You won't call me a monster even though I have horns on my head?
We won't call you that just because of the way you look. They're actually cute, you know.
Thanks, Rena.
Watch out for Rena. She might try and take you home.
I realized then that I was standing with everyone, looking down at my own body. I see. I'm finally dead. I looked at my bloody body at my feet. By my feet. It upset me that Takano was still enjoying the torture, but the body that remained was nothing but a shell.
Are you okay, Rika-chan?
Don't you think it's a bit strange to ask that question of a dead person? Everyone smiled wryly. It was my first time feeling so much love in death. Everyone is already dead. That's why I feel so happy to be dead, to join them. Suddenly, the world got darker, and my body started to sink downward.
What a great fade out. Keiichi in front of the moon.
I could feel myself disappearing. I still had the sensation of my friend's hands on mine. Let's go. Let's go, everyone.
Yeah, let's go.
You're also one of us. Come on, stop crying, and let's go. My vision had gone dark, but somehow I could still see. Rena offered her hand to Hanyu, and Hanyu slowly took it. Hanyu, I don't know what sad experiences you had before we met, but I'm sure my friends will accept you.
Ow, ow, ow! Is it still going to be fun if I'm involved? Are you sure they'll accept me?
Yes, so come along with us. Rena touched Hanyu's hand. It felt like everyone else laid their hands on top too. If only they had hands to do so. Let's go, Hanyu. Let's accept this sorrow, so we can embrace joy as well. Believe in the bright future that's waiting for us. The miracle will happen. We will attain it. Okay?
Yes.
Hanyu said with a definite nod. What's outside the well? Is this something worth fighting for? What's outside the well? Is this something worth getting hurt for? What's outside the well? I'm going to fight and get hurt in order to find that out. I'm sure what's waiting is a beautiful world, even if I get to the bottom of that well again. The key to the new world is my willingness to get out of here. Even if I can get out or not, I will eventually get to the new world. Higurashi, When They Cry, Chapter 7, Minagoroshi, staff credits.
That's a weird way to end that poem. What a good ass fucking chapter. I was such a hater to start this fucking chapter, dude.
You're
Holy
always a fucking
shit.
hater.
What a good ass fucking chapter. I can't wait for Hanyu to only be seen by the club members in the next game. Everyone gets to see Hanyu, but no one else does. Everyone's like, who the fuck is the new kid with the horns? Ooh. Oh, what a good ass fucking end to
Man,
that
I don't know
chapter,
why the
man.
credits are in Japanese.
It's better this way. Takano's evil. We're about to start the political drama. Hanyu's actually going to stop being a fucking loser and get involved in the plot and stop being useless. Maybe Rika actually does it this time.
Actually does it.
Maybe she actually does it and gets out this time.
Die, track, pre-holder, ZTS. I can't read those ones. Shin?
Okay, skip. No, I can't.
I don't think we want to.
It's not long anyway. It's just a fucking visual novel.
Yeah,
A doujin visual novel.
It's made
please.
by like 6 people, man. Oh, what a good ass chapter, dude. Holy fuck. I'm glad that Ryukishi gives you an answer to fucking every single goddamn question you could possibly have in this chapter. So then you can go into chapter 8 pissed. Like, you're not worried about what's going on. You don't know who to talk to. You just go into chapter 8 fucking mad.
Ready to solve this mystery. Ready to win. Higurashi, when they cry, Kai.
Fuck me, dude. Rika's like not a shit character anymore. I'm so happy.
She was never a shit character, you just didn't know.
Yeah, I just didn't know how much of a fucking loser she is.
You weren't a knower.
And then she converts from being a loser to a not loser.
Emergency Manual 1. Okay, turned it off.
Oh, oops.
If the existence of a terminal patient, L5, is confirmed, the Institute Director must resolve the situation before the L5 begins engaging in antisocial behavior. However, they must ensure that the secret remains hidden. To that end, the Director may also request assistance from the Secrecy Preservation Unit. As for the Secrecy Preservation Unit, they may request permission to fire from the Institute Director if necessary. All efforts should be made to secure the L5 subject is alive. That's
All efforts should be
It's a
made.
manga gamer.
Yeah, it's a manga gamer.
to make secure the L5 subject alive. But if that proves obstructive to maintaining secrecy, their life may be forfeit. At all times, maintaining secrecy and preventing exposure will be of the highest priority. However, preserving secrecy will take priority over preventing exposure. Emergency Manual Appendix 6, Appendix 9 FAQ. Question.
34!
Can Emergency Manual 34 be administered if an outbreak of L5 occurs, putting matters beyond the control of the Secrecy Preservation Unit? Additionally, is the Institute Director responsible for determining what constitutes an out-of-control situation? Answer, yes. If If an accident occurs and the hazardous material, the H170 series, is exposed to the public, can Emergency Manual 34 be administered? Answer, yes. If an accident has occurred and the nature of the Institute is revealed to the public, the Secrecy Preservation Unit will take steps to resolve the situation. However, if this information is spread too widely, can Emergency Manual 34 still be administered? Additionally, is the Institute Director responsible for making that decision? Answer, yes. The decision to execute Emergency Manual 34 must be carefully deliberated over and sanctioned by an official. However, in the case of emergency, does the Institute Director have the right to make the final decision? Answer. The execution of Emergency Manual 34 must be sanctioned by an official at all times. However, the Institute Director may petition the urgency of its use to an official. Emergency Manual 34. Reproduction or removal of this document is prohibited. The manual may only be read with the appropriate permissions. The manual will only apply upon approval by the highest authority. Nothing short of official authorization shall count as approval. Furthermore, those authorized to apply this manual must make their decision as soon as possible when it is required. if the situation threatens to spiral out of control, and the official assents to that this is the case. The EDA Institute must make the final decision to preserve the secret and prevent its detection by others. The following is an outline of how to execute the final resolution. Terminate all patients above L2. Destroy all evidence inside the Institute. Conceal the fact that this manual was administered. The contents of this manual must be executed by the Institute Director within 48 hours of the incident. If the Director is not available, the Chief Officer must execute it in his place. The Institute Director may demand support from the Chief Officer in executing this manual. If this manual is expected to be executed, the Chief Officer may issue the preliminary orders. The final resolution must be executed in the following steps. Disguise the incident as a natural gas disaster and quarantine the area. The quarantine unit must disguise themselves as police officers and isolate the Hinamizawa region from the outside world. The official explanation must be that there is a gas disaster within the village. The equipment for the operation will be stored at a vacant lot where Yaguchi Quarry used to be. The equipment must undergo routine maintenance. In the event of external breach or internal escape, if they do not respond to the notice of gas disaster or orders to evacuate, use of firearms is authorized. The approval to use firearms is given to the Chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit by the Chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit to the Chief of the Traffic Blockade Unit. Shutting down communications. The Communications Sabotage Unit must ensure that all forms of communication, including radio, have been disabled in the Hinamizawa area. They must take care not to fall under suspicion, and communications must be disrupted for a minimum amount of time. The facility belonging to the telephone company is inside of the traffic blockade, so any civilians inside may be shot and killed. The Chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit may give permission to use lethal force to the Chief of the Communications Sabotage Unit. I hate Japanese names for shit, man. They're so long. Assembling the infected carriers. The Secrecy Preservation Unit must assemble the infected populace in the Hinamizawa Regional Disaster Shelter. Refer to the enclosed documents for gathering procedures. Upon assembly, the unit must count the number of the infected and confirm that everyone is present. Be sure not to allow the infected to expose the true nature of the gas disaster. Additionally, the infected must not be allowed to bring any large personal belongings with them. However, they may take their valuables, including bank books and cash. Infected who refuse to assemble may be shot, but the chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit must carefully consider the decision to do so. Terminating the infected. Once they are assembled, the Secrecy Preservation Unit must terminate all of the infected. Before that point, care must be taken to ensure that they are not suspicious of the story of the gas disaster. Be sure that they are treated as humanely as possible. If any problems occur, the unit has approval to fire the weapons. The Chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit must also make that decision. Bodies with gunshot wounds should not be placed together with those that have been poisoned. Concealment of the Institute. The Institute Concealment Unit must collect all of the classified items, referred to the 193 items in the appendix, in the Institute in order to suppress the evidence. Refer to the appendix for more detailed instructions. The research staff at the Institute must assist with this operation. This unit must exercise extreme caution as they will be handling a number of toxic substances. Strict quarantine must be maintained of the concealment block. The airproof door must be welded shut, and the underground area must be flooded. The entrance to the area must be welded shut and concealed completely. Furthermore, the concealment block will be completely removed within 3 years. The Institute Concealment Unit must eliminate all civilians who try to approach the Institute. The use of firearms is not permitted, except in emergencies. The Chief of the Secrecy Preservation Unit may give the order to fire. Searching the village. The Secrecy Preservation Unit must search the whole village for any survivors. Any person who was not present during the assembly must be found. Any survivors found after the termination of the infected may be shot immediately. However, if the survivor is willing to surrender, do not shoot and instead take them into custody
the secrecy preservation unit. The unit must then terminate the captive, using the same method as the other infected. Post-mission transfer to General Forces. Transfer the job to the official disaster recovery team. Make sure to not arouse suspicion. Complete withdrawal. After the completion of all operations, the secrecy protection unit will retreat from the Hinamizawa area. They must be careful not to be suspected by the disaster recovery team. Furthermore, the Institute will continue to secure the concealment block until the complete removal is complete.
Finished.
Finished. Jesus, there's so much. So much shit.
He wasn't lying. The end of this game really is 2+ hours.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, what part of the Q&A got enacted to run Manual 34? I assume it was the termination of Toмотake.
I think we're about to go over it.
Okay, because my assumption is that the death of Toмотake led to the enactment of Manual 34, which led to the extinction of the village.
The Queen and her carriers. It is assumed that the pathogen has the same characteristics as creatures. It is assumed that the pathogen has the same characteristics as creatures such as ants. There's a queen of the carriers of the disease. Just like there's a queen ant, there's a queen ant, and there's... Oh my gosh. There's a queen of the carriers of the disease. Just like there's a queen ant. And this position has been passed down the line of the Furude family. This assumption has been made based on the legends of the ancient writings that have been passed down in the village. It is already confirmed that the carriers have a tendency to protect their queen. Additionally, the queen carrier can only survive within the boundary of the village. Probability of outbreak. As ordinary patients will become ill when they travel far away from the queen, it is assumed that the further and longer they are away from her, the higher the chance of symptoms occurring becomes. Also, mental state plays a strong factor as well, and it is estimated that those who are especially emotionally unstable or show strong yearning for their home are far more likely to exhibit symptoms. It is believed that the Takano relaxation method is the most effective method of suppressing symptoms, but if the patient still shows no improvement, only returning them to their home and the queen will be effective. Concerning terminal patients. Terminal patients, as they suffer from an extreme persecution complex, are incapable of functioning within society. Cases of arson and murder have been confirmed. They may present severe problems for their units. Records show that terminal patients appear even in Hinamizawa, and they will not recover even if reclouded nearer to the queen. Therefore, the decision to dispose of the problem must be made as soon as possible. It is recommended that the infected be quarantined before they start behaving irregularly. We suggest tracking down those formerly from Hinamizawa and placing them under special medical observation. The collapse of the carrier community. For the aforementioned reasons, we predict that should the queen carrier die, infected villagers will exhibit terminal symptoms on a village-wide scale. Terminal symptoms will begin showing within 24 hours at the earliest and 48 at the latest. For that reason, the final decision must be made within 48 hours. Based on the size of the village, neither ordinary officers nor military police may be able to control the chaos they may bring. We believe the best response is to treat them as an armed, anti-national uprising and immediately suppress them with the military. January 1945. To Colonel Koizumi of the Supreme Council for the Direction of War. From Hifumi Takano. Does that answer your question?
Okay. So it's a family bloodline thing. I see. Because it's Mio Takano in the 80s, and then I would assume it's her dad, Hifumi Takano. Or like her granddad. Interesting. So I'm just going to say her dad, because they, I think, call him a him at some point, was the original researcher during the war. That was the doctor assigned to, like, research the Hinamizawa syndrome. So I'm sure she found his notebook, so, like, he passed along his stuff to her, and then that got her sucked into this, and that's why she does what she does.
Maybe.
Why she is obsessed with fucking all of this.
Maybe.
Interesting.
June 23rd, 1983. Document E420 for the 58th Defense Commissioner. The TCOM 733 Commander, TCOM 733 is hereby ordered to be on standby within 24 hours, armed for urban suppression. The company commander must also thoroughly study Emergency Manual 34. Select personnel carefully with the preservation of secrecy in mind. Additionally, test the effectiveness of the vaccine with the support of the National Research Center of Infectious Diseases. Employ those with positive immunity. June 23rd, 1983. Document E7-11 for the 50th Director of the NIHS. Attention Equipment Testing Company Commander. Attention Equipment Testing Company Commander 733. The National Research Center of Infectious Diseases. Infectious Pathogen Department, Suite 13. Official seal omitted. About the Hinamizawa Syndrome. This is information regarding the Hinamizawa Syndrome. The Hinamizawa Syndrome is an infectious disease caused by a virus. There are no initial symptoms. Instead, their onset begins when the patient's emotional state becomes unstable, or if the queen carrier dies. The main symptoms of the illness are hallucinations and emotional instability, paired with the extreme persecution complex. Furthermore, patients are frequently unaware of their own mental abnormalities, making identification outside examination nearly impossible. The only way to do so is by observing symptoms indicative of terminal abnormal behavior. In many cases, patients engage in antisocial behavior, which is the largest issue created by the syndrome. This behavior is caused by hormonal factors, as this disease mainly affects the mind as opposed to the body. In the end, the patients will experience extreme irritation in their lymph nodes, and they will claw at their throat and wrists. This is the only symptom that is recognized by the patient. Important points regarding the sterilization operation. This is an advisory notice for virus control. The pathogen is an airborne infectious virus. Therefore, no effective preventative method exists, and inoculation is required. After the mission is completed, all staff members must take a medical exam, and those with positive test results must come forward. Be cautious when interacting with villagers. Even after inoculation, any contact with the bodily fluids will cause infection. Do not come into direct contact with them. If assumed infected, individuals must use the testing syringe and test themselves for the disease. If you feel extreme irritation in your lymph nodes, it is likely you have terminal symptoms. In that case, you must get tested immediately. If test case results come out positive, inject the treatment medication C120. If the irritation persists after 10 minutes, use a second injection. If there's still no change in symptoms, seek treatment at HQ. Do not use C120 if your test results are not positive. If used on a healthy body, symptoms of high fever, rashes, dilated pupils, and hallucination may be observable within 10 minutes. If this occurs, one must seek treatment at HQ.
Treatment at HQ is they just shoot you in the back of the head and throw you in a pile.
Maybe. Government officials explained the entire situation in a luxurious meeting room adorned with a marble table and crystal ashtrays. The chief cabinet secretary was in a panic. He'd never heard about any of this before. Feelings of panic were only natural. One girl's death was going to drive 2,000 villagers into a frenzy. Hearing that a disease like that exists was surprising enough. But on top of that, it was secretly researched for military use, and now there was a horrific situation caused by the director of the local research institute engaging in embezzlement. SU, I've been talking.
I've never heard of such a dangerous disease. There's no cure for it?
No. According to the National Research Center, they have recently found a method of treatment for the carriers of the disease, but they're still not capable of administering that treatment to the whole village. The entire populace is going to develop terminal symptoms within the next 24 to 48 hours. It's going to be a disaster.
The danger of this Hinamizawa syndrome was explained over and over again to the chief secretary. He didn't have anything more to say. Excuse me. But that didn't mean that he could blindly accept it either. He simply couldn't believe that the only way to resolve the situation was to kill all 2,000 infected villagers.
I understand the urgency, but I can't give approval to kill an entire village. Why was this disease being studied in secret anyway? Isn't this the responsibility of those who were funding the research? Such a dangerous disease can't possibly be of any benefit to this country. It's the year 1983, for crying out loud.
According to these documents, They
Oh
intentionally
no,
held...
this is still the guy. Yeah, because the explanation point.
According to these documents, they intentionally held off on exterminating the disease so they'd have more time to study it. On top of that, this chaos was all caused by a single researcher? This is an act of terrorism. This is the fault of those old men in Tokyo. They better take responsibility for this. Get rid of the people who are still haunted by the ghosts of the war. This is a good opportunity to rid Tokyo of its festering pus.
We will discuss the issue of the responsibility in due time, but we must make a prompt decision about this.
A man standing by the window slowly turned around and opened his mouth.
Prime Minister.
No,
Oh, whoops.
why, it's just some prime minister. Please give us your decision.
What happens if I don't approve this final resolution?
Well, almost 100% of the population in the village will develop terminal symptoms within 36 hours. They will be overcome by persecution complexes, and they will begin behaving violently. Suicide, murder, arson, robbery, and rape are some of the things we predict will happen. There will be no peace within the village. We probably won't stay within those boundaries either, but spread throughout the area. As a result, the whole world will discover this disaster. Sooner or later, they will find out about the mysterious disease. This will be a great advantage to the opposition in the next election. Tokyo will also voice their criticisms of the Prime Minister. You need their approval in order to make your political plans come to fruition. More than anything, the government might reveal that this secret research was conducted for military purposes. If this happens, this country will have a crisis of faith in their leadership.
What if I approve the final resolution?
Well, we will be disguising this as a natural disaster, so the opposition may still attack us for our blunder. However, they will not discover the existence of this mysterious disease. If by chance the world were to discover a military research of the disease, our nation would completely lose its initiative in the Asia region.
Support from those nations is necessary for us. If we lose their trust, the opposition will definitely come into power after the next election. Japan will be finished!
According to our simulations, the balance of power will shift drastically if the second and third parties form a coalition government. The whole world will hold us responsible. The United Nations will accuse us of developing WMDs. Neighboring countries' governments will lead smear campaigns against us, drawing a hard line of anti-Japan diplomatic policies with high approval ratings. In every way possible, the government of this country will be burned to the ground.
So we'll lose all the trust of our allies, huh? Shit. So this isn't just the problem of the several 100,000 people who are living around the Hinamizawa area, is it? But it's way too difficult to cover up 2,000 casualties.
The most important thing is to prevent the public from knowing that this country was secretly researching biological weapons. I guess we'll be wiping the ass of the ghosts of the war.
Are you sure this operation can be performed secretly? If this mission goes public, this will be a greater scandal than the research itself.
Yes, it will be kept secret. There are special units working on this case. They are trained specifically for situations like this. You have nothing to worry about.
I've never heard of any missions like this, but it's basically mass murder via gas, correct? I had no idea there were units specifically trained for that.
In order to know how to protect themselves from a gas attack, they must know what a gas warfare is about. In order to know how to fight against an enemy using gas, they must also know how to kill with it. The Equipment Research Unit is prepared for any kind of attack. He let out a small sigh. He couldn't see the line between ethical and unethical. Can any research be justified by the excuse of preparing against hostilities? But that's also what preparation was all about. Some evils must be accepted as necessary. The Irie Institute was one such evil.
So we have to make a secret decision in order to keep this research undisclosed.
Approving this is going to make us guilty. Are you sure this information will not leak?
Oh, I guess that would have been vice versa.
Approving this is going to make us guilty. Are you sure that this information will not leak from the members of this unit?
That will not happen. The members were carefully selected from a group of extremely loyal men. We've never performed an operation such as this.
They are highly experienced, and they will not leak any information whatsoever.
They're an assassination unit, huh?
Prime Minister, please give us the approval to administer Emergency Manual 34.
Director General of Defense, are you sure this operation will succeed? Are you sure we can stop this from going public? No. Can you keep the casualties to a minimum?
Yes, sir. The preliminary orders have already been sent out, and preparations are complete. We will execute the mission as soon as we get your approval.
I can't give the approval to slaughter 2,000 innocent people. However, as Prime Minister, I have an obligation to minimize the number of casualties.
Prime Minister, I understand your dilemma.
Director General, please make a concerted effort to minimize the number of victims. If these 2,000 people can't be treated, please do what's best to prevent additional victims.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your approval. We will return with positive results.
That's if you can call 2,000 casualties a positive result.
Okuno?
Yeah.
Okuno-kun, please set up a meeting with Tokyo as soon as possible. I have to hear an explanation directly from them.
Understood.
By the way, did they arrest that idiot, the Institute director?
No, he committed suicide by taking poison. He was in such a rage that his research was being shut down that he felt as if his life itself was being denied.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, pal.
So no one will ever really know what made him commit such a horrific crime.
Oh my god. The execution of Emergency Manual 34 is approved. June 23rd.
1983. Prime Minister... Director General of the Defense Agency, blank.
This is the day that never ends.
Front.
For logistical reasons, you may not bring any large items with you. You cannot carry any luggage. I repeat, you cannot carry any luggage. You may carry only valuable items such as bank books and cash. Please do not use your own vehicle to evacuate. It will cause confusion. Lamau, you can only bring bank books and cash so we can make money off of killing you guys.
It was the middle of the night, and yet countless villagers were out and about. Some of them were locking their doors, some of them were watering their plants, and some of them were piling food in their dogs' dinner bowls. Small children were crying in fear. Members of the town council were yelling angrily while counting up the villagers. Reportedly, the village had been cut off from the rest of the world after volcanic gas gushed out of the mountains. The number of policemen and military units in the village added to the strong smell of sulfur in the air, dispelling any doubts that the villagers might have had. The more religious among the elderly were convinced that this was the curse of Rika Furude, who had passed away the day before. They were certain that Oyashiro-sama was enraged, and that the door to hell had been opened.
True.
Soldiers wearing gas masks guided the villagers to the evacuation center.
Why do you all have guns?
These are to protect your homes after the evacuation. We're expecting looters.
No one in Hinamizawa would do something like that.
This is the first platoon. The evacuation's on schedule. Roger that. We'll send our platoon over.
Excuse me, I need to bring along my grandfather's mortuary tablets.
You may take that with you. Please hurry up. Make sure everyone in the village is here. Please come forward if you're unable to walk. The soldier will come and help you.
Ah, Oyashiro-sama is angry because Rika-chama was murdered.
Oyashiro-sama, please forgive our sins.
Remember our emergency drills? Group leaders have to contact a town council member when everyone in their group has shown up.
Miasma is coming out of the swamp. Oyashiro-sama must be furious.
There are too many of us here. We'll never make it out alive. Let me die in this village.
Don't worry. The helicopters and buses are on their way to transport everyone to safety. You're all gonna make it out okay.
Lol. Everyone gather at the forestry service. No, not the people from District 4. You're supposed to go to the community center behind the post office.
It's exactly the same as the emergency drills. Please calm down and head to your evacuation point. Please move as a group. Every person matters. Everyone needs to stick together. You will get home safely. Villagers couldn't see the expressions under the soldiers' gas masks. They wondered what kind of expressions they were hiding under there. The soldiers were, of course, lying to the villagers, knowing that they would never return to their homes again. One such trooper cried under his mask, but the villagers never saw his tears.
Please go back. You can't take your own vehicle to evacuate. The road ahead is cut off by a gas stream and it's dangerous. Can't you smell the sulfur?
Some people tried to leave in their cars, so as to take large items with them. However, the quarantine unit had sealed off all the roads leading outside. The gas masks of the troopers and the smell of the sulfur persuaded them to return and obey their instructions. Some of them tried to contact Okinomiya, but their phones could not connect. The lines were busy no matter how much they tried. They simply assumed the phone lines were overwhelmed because of the disaster. Some of the villagers had access to radios. They tried to figure out what the situation was like outside, but all they could hear over the radio was loud static. It was the same with the television. They couldn't contact anyone outside of the village, so they really were totally isolated. And so, they had nothing to rely on but the instructions of the police and the military. They were like moths heading towards the light, never doubting that they would be safe there. One old war veteran listened to the noise from the radio and muttered,
This is exactly how it sounded when the Americans jammed the radio waves during the war.
As it turned out, he was absolutely correct. However, he turned off the radio when his son urged him to evacuate. The villagers had all gathered at their evacuation points. Some of them were at the school, and some of them were at the community center. They were to stay in the building until the evacuation vehicles arrived. The soldiers told them to stay inside so that they could keep track of the number of evacuees. Please close all the windows to prevent gas from entering. We'll be sealing the windows to be on the safe side. Your cooperation will be appreciated.
All right, let's help them out.
People started to seal up the windows and vents with the duct tape that attended to them. They completely sealed every opening, even as they heard the quieting conversation of the soldiers. It was long past 3 a.m., but everyone was wide awake with fear. They were having an extremely long night. Coincidentally, the end of their night had almost arrived. This is all Oyashiro-sama's curse! Rika-jama, Oyashiro-sama, Oyashiro-sama.
Oyashiro-sama demoned away those kids at the Furude Shrine in his fury.
The Furude Shrine was swallowed by the world of demons that day. The demons chewed up their guts while she was still alive. They all started saying that the gas disaster was caused by the curse of Oyashiro-sama, and Rika's death and the mysterious disappearance of her friends, the two detectives who were also the result of the curse. People started talking about being demoned away. They had no idea that Keiichi and his friends' short battle sealed their fate that night. The more religious villagers had become convinced that the children and the detectives went missing, because they volunteered to become a sacrifice to calm Oyashiro-sama's anger after Rika's death. They didn't know the truth. They couldn't know. Not one realized that Keiichi's and his friends' efforts had all been in vain. Indeed, in Hinamizawa, everything that happens is the will of Oyashiro-sama.
Yeah, Hanyu, you dumb asshole.
But why did it have to be that way? Before the series of mysterious deaths occurred, no one really used the term the curse of Oyashiro-sama that frequently. In other words, who set them up? People in this village were set up to believe that the curse of Oyashiro-sama happens every year. They really are just too superstitious.
Fuck.
Spock, Major, we've finished gathering the villagers together. The last family finally reached their assembly point. We got everyone.
Good.
Who set them up? Flunk. Could never guess.
Good. This is finally it. The curse of Oyashiro-sama will become a reality tonight. For enacting with Higurashi on Rika Furude, Oyashiro-sama is punishing this village. The curses of the last 5 years are culminating in the biggest curse of them all. This is not just a mysterious chain of murders. This is divine punishment from an enraged god. Let's begin.
This is Company Commander. The men are requesting 1 minute of silence. Can you let them have that, Major?
Do as you like.
Takano gave them a disparaging laugh. The company commander crossed his heart and began to speak.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide these innocent people. Their sacrifice will save the lives of many others to come. Please forgive us for committing this sin. Please forgive us for being here today.
The company commander isn't Christian. In fact, he doesn't follow any religion. However, he prayed because he felt the need to ask someone for forgiveness. I don't think company commander is Okanogi, but it doesn't matter.
Too late.
He wasn't even sure if he was saying it correctly, but he still prayed to God. He asked forgiveness for committing his sin and continued to pray, because I don't think Okanogi cares.
That's fair. You know what? That's super fair.
Takano was speaking in a soft voice. She was talking to herself. For ye not know what hour your Lord doth come, but know this, if the good man of the house and had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and he would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh.
What a freak.
One man heard her murmurs. That's from the Gospel of Matthew.
Is it? My grandfather always said that to me. He was telling me to work hard every day, because you'll never know when you'll be rewarded.
Is this a reward for you?
Yes, although you might never understand it.
Takano's just
Is this Takano?
like fighting a priest, man.
That's not Takano.
Excuse my rudeness, but I believe that the descent of God is a merciful thing. I think what you're saying is inappropriate for a time like this.
He was trying to tell her that using that verse of the Bible was inappropriate for this occasion. However, Takano simply laughed as though she had heard something very funny. I'm sorry, but you have no right to judge. Tonight is the night where I become a god.
She's such a larper, man.
The moment of silence has ended.
And with the end of that end of the silence,
I assume Chief Commander.
yeah,
Execute the operation now.
the order was given. The order was given in as hollow and reluctant a manner as an order can possibly be. People were packing into the classroom. They were afraid. The troopers closed the door of the classroom. The people inside had no idea why they were doing that. However, they didn't suspect anything at all. One old man walked up to the door to open it. Because it was closed, it's far too hot inside the room. But he collapsed all of a sudden. His wife tried to walk over to help him, but she also collapsed all of a sudden. Then, other people also started collapsing inside the room. It really was a very odd sight. What would make for a good example? It would be pretty amusing if they were dominoes. However, they are human beings. People sitting by the window watched this strange event happening before their eyes. They opened those eyes wider to try and understand what was going on. The door creaked open slightly, and someone on the other side threw 3 spray canisters into the room. More people started to collapse, even those at the window. This wasn't something that was happening only in one room. It was happening in all the other rooms too. It was happening in all the evacuation centers. People's dreams, the hopes in their futures, were taken away so quickly and easily. There was a commotion in the reception room by the principal's office. Someone figured out what was going on, broke the seal of the window, and escaped outside. Other people tried to remove the seal on their windows too, but they collapsed in a matter of seconds.
Someone escaped from the reception room. 4 people are loose.
You have permission to fire. Shoot, shoot, shoot! The soldiers shot the people who tried to escape in the back. The sound of the gunshots echoed in the silence. It was a noise filled with cruelty. They helplessly fell to the ground. Their deaths were so pitiful compared to the silent deaths of those before them. The residential police officer was one of the escapees. He tried to shoot back at them with his own gun. His shots could be heard throughout the building. The soldiers ducked into the shadows upon hearing the noise. The officer seized his chance and ran towards the gate. But that was just a waste of time. Not only is the range of the automatic weapons they were using longer than the length of the schoolyard, but as trained professionals, it would be nothing for them to shoot him from that distance. The villagers had no choice. Either they die from the gas without realizing what was happening, or they find out about the mission and be killed. What happened? Did they fight back? Respond!
We've shot all the fugitives. One of the residential policemen shot back.
Collect those bodies. Do not put them with the other corpses. The soldiers walked over to the 4 fallen bodies. They needed to make sure that they were all dead, not just injured. This is the first platoon. The forestry service building has been sterilized. 4 escaped. We took them down.
This is second platoon. Sterilization complete. No one escaped.
This is third platoon. More than 10 escaped. We are conducting a sweep. It will be over soon.
And this is fourth platoon. Sterilization complete. No one escaped.
This is third platoon. We've taken out all 13 fugitives. Sterilization is now complete.
How come only the prime numbers had issues with this?
Roger. Start counting the bodies. Make sure the total matches the original number taken earlier tonight.
Takano was laughing to herself inside of the van. She didn't physically see all those people dying silently, but she saw it anyway. She saw countless people dying without even noticing it. She saw it all in her mind. Takano waved her arms in the air. No one was watching her, but no one would understand what she was doing if they were. She was waving her baton. Takano was pretending that she was the conductor of this silent funeral march.
Major, the sterilization is complete. We're going to reconnect the phone lines.
Sure, go ahead.
This is Institute Concealment Unit. We've removed all the classified items and welded the entrance shut. We're currently flooding the underground facility.
This is a traffic blockade unit. Everything is proceeding as scheduled.
This is Communication Sabotage Unit. We've reconnected the phone lines. The telephone facility is back to normal.
Takano was paying no attention to those reports. She continued to sing the melody of an orchestra. One operator spoke to her.
You seem to be in a good mood.
Yes, it feels so good. I bet you can't hear it. This hymn that glorifies God.
Him?
Takano laughed loudly, spreading her arms wide. That's right, the hymn. The new god has descended into this village. There was no god in Hinamizawa. Oh yeah, Shido-sama was just a name. This was an old backwater village with no real god. But I brought a god to this place. Do you understand what that means? I bet you don't. How many gods in this world have the power to curse people? How many of them can challenge people? None of them. But I did it. Takano laughed as if she was the only one who could comprehend what she was saying. None of the operators inside of the car could comprehend her laughter. Takano was satisfied to know that. A god is not a god without a curse. Gods are feared because of their curses, and they're worshipped because they're feared. That's the truth about gods. If faith alone is what creates a god, there's no need for curses. But the ancient gods all cursed humans. Then, what is a god's curse? It's the proof that a god is real. Gods aren't gods if they don't curse people. I found evidence of the existence of God in this poor village. I thought this was a message from heaven. Hinamizawa was without a doubt for 100 years until the end of the damn conflict. Without a god for 100 years until the end of the damn conflict. I believe it's been my mission to restore the god's existence in this village. Heaven supported me and granted me power. I have raised the bud of this a cursed plant with the faint seeds of a coincidence granted to me by heaven. And now this budding curse bears fruit and hangs ripe. Do you understand? Tonight is the night of the harvest.
This is the final curse of Oyashiro-sama, and from this day forth, Oyashiro-sama will be a real god. You may not see it now, but someday you will understand. You will see how grand this plan I accomplished was, how long it will be told in history, and how great I will become. God's curse, I make that curse happen. I am the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Worship me and be fearful. I'm creating not only death, I'm writing history. History will speak of this curse and will remember my existence forever. I am the curse itself. I've transcended this flesh. My legend will endure forever beyond my mortal life. My existence is eternal now. Curse yourselves and curse your powerlessness. You realize how great I am. I am Oyashiro-sama. I am a god now. My flesh may die eventually, but I will remain in this world forever. I'm gonna have to get good at laughs by the time I get to Mineko.
Takano went sicko mode.
Crash.
So it really is just ego and that's it. Takano really said, I'm gonna do this out of ego and ego alone.
Goodness gracious. We received a new tip.
Oh,
this
shit.
fragment's end.
Dude, I forgot we even have tits to read.
Higurashi when they cry kai. The spear jump mode has been unlocked.
Crazy.
The tips reading room has been unlocked.
Wow.
The staff room has been unlocked. Awesome.
Time to...
Your great Hinamizawa disaster. Had a chat with Yuki Shioset. We haven't done
We
that
haven't
yet.
done that yet. Game?
Game. You almost closed OBS there.
It would have been fine. Time to...
Spend 20 more minutes reading the last two things in this goddamn book.
Yeah.
Tip time.
Far right.
Yeah, I know. This fragment's end.
No, it's gonna be a Rika fucking bullshit thing.
Oh, okay.
Who?
I guess Rika finally managed to assemble the pieces to her puzzle. We don't know yet if her memories will pass on to her next life. Rika always loses the memory of her death. I don't know if she can retain the memories of what she discovered. What did you think? Did you have fun? Once you find out the answers, collecting them isn't fun anymore. Don't you agree? I see. You still might find something different by examining the old fragments. After all, the time we have here is endless. We have to find... It's Rika down to... But we have to find something to play with because...
Oh shit, my bad.
There's nothing to do here. For me, playing with these fragments stops being fun when I find out what's inside. But if you can tell me how to have fun with them, even so, that makes you pretty smart. What? You want to know what I play with? I don't play. I'm just killing time. I like to imagine what Rika could have done in order to achieve a future she hopes for. I like to imagine a world that would have been happy for all of them. You found out how these worlds work, and worlds are set up by looking at the previous ones, right? I like to analyze what would need to change in order for Rika to win against Takano. You want to see what's on my mind? Not too bad. I'm not showing that to you. In that world, Rika and her friends survived in their struggle and broke through the fate of June of 1983. It's just my imagination. It's not for me to share with you. I'm sure the world that Rika is about to create is better than anything in my imagination. Even if she's stuck in June 19th of 1983, I'm sure this now-ended world remained one of the Rika's brightest fragments either way. No matter how much she struggles, if she actually overcomes her fate, it will be the most brilliant fragment of her story. I'm sure the life Rika lives makes for a better story than my boring imagination. You want to know what happened to Rika? She made a decision to redo her life once again with Hanyu. She is trying to live her life with all of her might. That's what she learned from this world. Her next life has already begun. I do wonder what that life is like. I'm going there now to check. Do you want to come with me?
It's a link to the story page for the next game.
There we go.
Epic.
So that was the
That was the tips.
closing of
Yep.
the opening of this fucking game
Yeah.
from ages ago. Jesus.
So now we have staff room.
Oh.
What's up, Ryukishi?
Hi, this is Ryukishi 07. Thank you for playing Higurashi When They Cry Kai, Chapter 7, Minagoroshi. This time around, the scenario is almost like the answer page in a book of riddles.
Yeah, no shit.
Or maybe the scenario is like a side dish we enjoyed alongside the scenarios up to now. You can take it how you like. I just hope you enjoyed it. I was very nervous about releasing this scenario, because a mystery is only good when it's still a mystery. This scenario marks the end of that mystery. To be honest, I didn't want to release this chapter for a while.
Maybe he answered all of Seconia Phase 1 and Seconia Phase 2, and that's why he's sitting on it.
However, way too many similar stories are being published with no answers at all. A book of riddles means nothing if there's no answer page in the back. Coming up with an answer when you have no way to see if it's right or not is a little sad, I think. If there are no answers, you can't get any joy out of reading a book of riddles. I regret to see that there are way too many stories out there that don't offer this kind of joy. That's why I decided to release something that you can compare your answers to for the series. Since this world had a rather irregular presentation, there may not have been many people who reached what might be called the right answer. But that's not really about whether your answer was right or wrong. It's much more about how many questions you raised when reading the story and how many answers you were able to find. Thank you all very much for the solutions you sent me. They're all wonderful theories, and some of them were thought out so much more in the actual story that I frequently thought about making them the right answer. Right, laugh. Also, your support has given me courage to finish writing the 7th chapter of this series. Thank you very much for supporting Higurashi. Finally, I would like to apologize about how I portrayed the Child Consultation Center. I don't know what it was like in 1983, but child consultation centers are not mean places like it depicted in my story. I made the characters look so unfeeling, but in reality, the government today is the #1 hero for us civilians. In fact, those involved with child welfare and youth education are all extremely passionate and selflessly devoted people. I'm sorry for giving them such a negative image in this chapter. The next chapter, Matsuri Bayashi, is going to be the last one of the series. I'm overwhelmed by the pressure of writing the last chapter of Higurashi When They Cry, which turned out to be such a long story. I hope you'll continue your kind support. Thank you all very much. 07th expansion, Ryukishi 07.
I'm gonna nickname Matsuri Holiday Matsuri in OBS.
Awesome.
This got to be Mina. Next one is Holiday Matsuri.
Ugh, especially since it's gonna go until December.
True.
Oh, there's the staff room.
Why did it give us...
It was weird. We didn't have a conversation with Ryukishi. Why did it give us that then?
Wow.
Wow.
Double check.
What are you doing?
I'm double checking that we have all the achievements.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're
completed.
done. Alrighty.
Okay, well, that's gonna be the end of this episode. And
Almost
then,
3 hours.
yeah, I told you it was long.
God damn. What a good ass video game.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, the next time, Connor wants to do some recap or some shit, but then
It's
Minagoroshi. No.
No.
Matsuri Bayashi.
Yeah, it's
the final
holiday.
chapter of Higurashi When They Cry.
It's Holiday Matsuri time.
All Mat time. We're
All
going
Mat
to
time.
finish Higurashi and then start Umineko
Umineko.
very soon. Are you excited?
We'll be done with fucking Higu before the end of the year.
We will be.
That's fucked up.
It's crazy.
We've been doing this, what, 2 years?
Yes,
3?
sir. Ever since you moved.
Yeah, like 2 years.
All right, boy.
It took us 2 years to get through fucking Higurashi.
Pretty cool. All right.
Funny.
Well, we will be back next time on
On Holiday Matsuri.